Yeah. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to Shoot the Breeze, episode 245, here on the Better Medicine Podcast. I am Jacadero, filling in proudly for Brother Koku. Man, I don't know about you guys, but it's a great day. It's a great day. It's always a great day. Because why? Because you woke up as an African, huh? With all that being said, we got one hell of a show for you guys today. Huh? We got one hell of a show in the chat already, huh? Trigger Happy says, peace, peace, peace. Trigger Happy, what's going on? What's up? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué onda? Habari gani? Namna gani? Man, I wish I knew more greetings outside of East Africa. But yeah, what's going on? Anyways, we got a hell of a show for you guys today. What do we got? I mean, we got a lot. We're asking if Black Americans and Stand Their Ground are in the same stadium. Are they in the room with us? Are they in the same room? Also, we're practicing. We're asking the question: Did we practice Pride in Africa as well? Also, we're asking if Africans sold out with the World Cup this year. Did they sell out? Did Africans sell out? And then we're also asking if we're hating, huh? And then we're also asking if we are incredible or what. It might be a rhetorical question, but are we incredible or what? Anthony is also here. He says, Bitter Medicine Podcast, Amani ni Baraka, my Africans. Poa sana manze. Poa sana. Asante sana manze. Karibu sana and karibuni to family wetu. Huh? To familia wetu, karibuni. Anthony Buddha angu, wenu mtu angu, karibu manze, and nashukuru sana, tunashukuru kabisa. Hey! Once again, I'm Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku here on Shoot the Breeze episode 245. Before we get into the show, before we get into all of that and everything else that we got going on, we need to have you guys know who we are, for those that don't know. It's not just me. It's not just Anthony. It's not just Trigger Happy. It's a whole collective, a cohesive unit. Let me stop yapping and let me show you guys. I can show you guys better. I can tell you guys. Let's go.
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAC Radio. Welcome to the Bitter Medicine Podcast, where it's all about Black empowerment. Our show focuses on Black news and entertainment, arts, science, economics, history, people, and strategies that uplift, empower, and motivate Africans within the diaspora. And now, your host, whose favorite color is black, Goku.
Hey. Come on, it's not Koku. I'm Brother Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku, though. Again, if you're just joining in, this is Shoot the Breeze episode 245, and I'm proudly substituting for our awesome Brother Koku here on the Better Medicine Podcast. Man, it's going to be one hell of a show for you guys today. One hell of a show. It's packed with a lot of football. I know they call it soccer in the United States, but it's called football everywhere else. So it's packed with, this show today is packed with a lot of soccer references, a lot of football references, With that being said, let me go ahead and remind you guys that we have a Discord. Yes, a Discord. So not only can you be involved in just the chat on Saturdays, not only can you just be a panel on Saturday nights, but you can also be part of the Discord. So it's a purple app, DISCORD, Discord. Again, DISCORD. It's a purple app. Go ahead and type in the Bitter Medicine Podcast and join. We want to hear from you. So that way you can build with like-minded Pan-African individuals like yourself. Not just on Saturdays. Guys, this is every day. And also, what's great about the Discord for Bitter Medicine Podcast is that if you have topics that you want to have discussed on the Shoot the Breeze episodes, any of them, you can go ahead and do that in the Discord. How you like that? How you like that? How do you like that? Me, I love it. Yeah, you should love it too. Speaking of love, man, we're getting a lot of love in the chat. Lord of Slaughter says RBG. RBG Lord of Slaughter, what's up? Peace, 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 peace. And he's got, of course, he's got the Medu Netter as an icon. I see you. Lord of Slaughter, I see you, man. Lord of Slaughter says, I'll be back in 15. I see you. Also, Anthony says that, peace, Brother Jacadero in the panel. Chat, I'll be up. Let me fix my drink. Fix me a drink too, Anthony. Why are you being greedy? Why are you being greedy? Why you know they greet? Why are you not fixing me a drink too? What's going on, Omera? What is not happening, Omera? How can you not fix me a drink? Matter of fact, let's see if you can help me fix a drink while we identify this station. Yes, it's not just Shoot the Breeze, Bitter Medicine. No. This is identified by a station. Let me get you guys familiar, and let's see if Anthony will be back to give me a drink as well. I want a drink, man. Come on, let's go.
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAC Radio.
This is D Webb with the Harsh Reality Podcast, asking you to tune in where we tackle the news of the day that affects our community, only on KWAZ Radio.
Peace, family. This is Oni, inviting you to listen to the Pro-Black Perspective, where black problems are addressed with black solutions.
Greetings, fam. Tune in to The Learning Curve with me, the Revolutionary Matron on KWAZ Radio.
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAC Radio.
Woo-wee! Once again, welcome to Shoot the Breeze episode 245 on the Bitter Medicine Podcast channel here on the YouTube. Well, I already told you guys, we have a Discord. So go ahead and download Discord for Apple and Android. Again, you don't have to have an iPhone. You don't only have to have a Galaxy. You can have any phone as long as you have Google Play for the download store or the App Store for your iPhone. You can go ahead and get involved in not only today's conversation, but all throughout the week. I like to say 7 days a week, but we'll say 8 days a week, 25 hours a day. How about that? Yeah, that works out for you guys, right? Right? I am Jacadero, if you can't tell, proudly filling in for Brother Koku. And this is Shoot the Breeze episode 245. We got one hell of an episode for you guys today. If you want to be a part of the conversation live, on air, go ahead and click the Discord link pinned to the top. It should look like that. It's a StreamYard link, and you can use any name that you want. I think a couple weeks back we had somebody named Billy Bob, and I don't know if they were actually Billy Bob, but you can be anybody. You can be anybody. If you want to be Billy Bob, you can be Billy Bob. How about that, huh? All right. Make sure you hit the like button. Spam. What they say, spam the like button? Just hit the like button. I'm not necessarily going to go so hard and having you guys go into peer pressure. Just go ahead and just hit the like button. It makes the algorithm have the like-minded individuals see it. Kwame Ture, aka Stokely Carmichael, said it best one time when asked after a college speaking engagement. I can't remember the college. It wasn't important, but what he said at the end towards one of the college students that said, hey, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of people here. I apologize for that. And he said one thing that to this day I still use. He says, it doesn't matter how many people showed up. It's the fact that the right people showed up, and the right people will continue to show up. We apply that here. Hit the like button so that the right people can show up and build. Come on, don't you want free black people? All right. Let's go ahead and let's get into Shoot the Breeze topic number 1. It's pretty relevant. We try to stay pretty relevant with you guys, huh? Come on, yeah, because you guys are relevant. Shoot the Breeze topic number 1 asks, do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? Once again, do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? Huh? Huh? Do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? We asked that question. It's relevant. Again, if you want to be a part of today's conversation, go ahead and click on the link pinned to the top of the chat. It's a StreamYard link, and you can go ahead and have your voices heard. Again, we're asking on Shoot the Breeze topic number 1, do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? We have a video that goes with this prompt. Let's take a look and take a listen.
People are not understanding. Now, this is another thing that people are not understanding too, and this relates a little bit to the Chud the Builder case. People keep thinking that stand your ground means crash out, which it doesn't. You know, first of all, this situation wasn't a stand your ground situation. And even with the Chud the Builder thing, that's still not a stand your ground situation, technically. It could be seen as one, but right? In stand your ground cases, you have no duty to retreat, but in self-defense cases, you do have some duty to not escalate. That's the thing, right? And I hope you understand both points. So in stand your ground, if someone comes to you with an issue, you don't have to run away, right? You can stay there and protect yourself. And even if protecting yourself means even chasing, which that involved what happened with Zimmerman, right? That's even protected. It's pretty much the don't start none, won't be none law, right? But that's not self-defense. Self-defense usually is not escalating, which means not because someone punched you means you immediately shoot them. That's an unnecessary escalation that is not proportional, and then it's not self-defense. It's not covered. If someone pushes you, tells you to get out of a tent, or punches you, whatever happened, unless there's some other factors, you can't just pull out a knife and stab them. And again, I don't want, I'm not that familiar with every detail of this case. So I don't want to just like cast aspersions on how this kid handled the situation. Clearly wasn't good, but I don't want to use or trying to refer to facts that I'm not too sure of at this moment. But yeah,
enough threatening violence.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, I am Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku on Shoot the Breeze episode 245 on the Bitter Medicine podcast. It is Saturday, June 13th, 2026, without Pan-Africanism. And we're going into our first topic, asking, do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? We're going to replay this video clip. Once again, if you're not in the United States, or maybe you're in the United States, you have no idea, this video clip that goes with our first topic deals with the Carmelo Anthony case, where he was found guilty and also sentenced this week for the death of Austin Metcalf, saying that people completely misunderstood the self-defense laws and act like stand your ground is a license to crash out. This individual named DJ Academic Social Commentary gives his thoughts on stand your ground. Before we get into our comments here, I do want to state that we have the panel link pinned to the top of the chat. I know brothers are getting prepared. Sisters are also getting prepared as well. Do whatever you need to do. We're going to go ahead and play this clip again, going with Shoot the Breeze topic number 1. Do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? Trigger Happy says right away, so many tap dancers have been defending Austin in this case from what I've seen on the internet. Hey. And Trigger Happy, I don't believe is referring to tap dancers in a good way. I know that, usually if you're known as a dancer, it's usually a good thing, but I don't believe that Trigger Happy is classifying a tap dancer to be a good, to have a good label bestowed upon yourself as a Black individual. Again, we're asking, Shoot the Breeze topic number 1, do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? Let's play this clip once again with DJ Academics.
Now, this is another thing that people are not understanding too, and this relates a little bit to the Chud the Builder case. People keep thinking that stand your ground means crash out, which it doesn't. You know, first of all, this situation wasn't a stand your ground situation. And even with the Chud the Builder thing, that's still not a stand your ground situation, technically. It could be seen as one, but they're not, right? In stand your ground cases, you have no duty to retreat, but in self-defense cases, you do have some duty to not escalate. That's the thing, right? And I hope you understand both points. So in stand your ground, if someone comes to you with an issue, you don't have to run away, right? You can stay there and protect yourself. And even if protecting yourself means even chasing, which that involved what happened with Zimmerman, right? That's even protected. It's pretty much the don't start none, won't be none law, right? But that's not self-defense. Self-defense usually is not escalating, which means not because someone punched you means you immediately shoot them. That's an unnecessary escalation that is not proportional, and then it's not self-defense. It's not covered. If someone pushes you, tells you to get out of the tent, or punches you, whatever happened, unless there's some other factors, you can't just pull out a knife and stab them. And again, I don't want, I'm not that familiar with every detail of this case, so I don't want to just like cast aspersions on how this kid handled the situation. Clearly wasn't good, but I don't want to use or try to refer to facts that I'm not too sure of at this moment. But yeah,
enough threatening violence.
All right, once again, if you're just joining in, I am Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku on Shoot the Breeze episode 245 on the Better Medicine podcast. Appreciate you guys for joining in. We are getting into our first Shoot the Breeze topic. Do Black Americans have, quote unquote, stand your ground to defend them? In the chat right away, Trigger Happy says, so many tap dancers have been defending Austin in this case from what I've seen on the internet. And again, I've expounded that Trigger Happy, we can assume, is not referring to tap dancers in a good light. Again, usually, especially in Black spaces, when you're known as a dancer, it's usually a good thing. I don't believe that Trigger Happy is looking at you in a high regard if he's calling you a tap dancer. Jose is in the chat. What's going on, Jose? And he says, peace panel, peace chat. What's up? What's up, Jose? All right. Well, while we get panelists here, again, some people are making their drinks. Some people are getting ready. We need to give them time. I understand. We'll play back the clip. Should more panelists, or should any panelists get on and replay the clip just to refresh or maybe remind them on what exactly the Shoot the Breeze topic number 1 is about. In the meantime, let me go ahead and maybe give my own thoughts. Again, Shoot the Breeze topic number 1, do Black Americans have a stand your ground to defend them? I say this. We all know. It's not a secret. It is not a secret on who the stand your ground law is for. Because again, stand your ground law, I don't believe that the stand your ground law. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. And then Brother Bakari, he enters in the chat. He says, peace and Black African power, Black African family. What's going on, Brother Bakari? We're getting into our first topic again. Shoot the Breeze topic number 1. Do Black Americans have the stand your ground? Do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? My own thoughts while we get our panelists up in the chat here. I don't believe that stand your ground was even written. I know it goes with each state because not all 50 states have stand your ground law. I know Florida for sure has a stand your ground law. We all were reminded with the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin case where George Zimmerman used the stand your ground defense for the murder case of Trayvon Martin, and was able to have him not see prison time. But in this case, again, if you're not familiar, the case of Carmelo Anthony and the crime that a jury had convicted him of the murder of Austin Metcalf. Stand your ground, it doesn't exist because I don't believe that it was written by us. That's number one. Number two, it's I hate to relate everything to money, but in the United States, this is a capitalistic society. What does that mean in this context? I believe that the economy and politics go hand in hand. And so to stand your ground, it's a law. But it also reflects back to economies. I'm not 100% sure on if Carmelo Anthony was the son of an Asian immigrant family, on if this would have went the way that it went. Why? Because now that there's money behind it. This was tough. This was a very unfortunate situation. I don't know what it was, but I didn't see things going well for Carmelo Anthony in this case. Why? Just because it didn't look like it was going to be set up for him to make it out. I'm not sure on his defense team, the Anthony family choosing the legal team. I'm not sure. I didn't do too much research, but it was reported by some circles that he had a weak defense team. And so even with that being said, I just did not see Carmelo making it out, even getting probation, let alone getting off with a defense backing. But I could be wrong. Let's get into some of the panelists' thoughts. Brother Bakari, what's going on first? Welcome to Shoot the Breeze, episode 245. How are you? And then I'm sure you have knowledge about this case. And then asking the question on Shoot the Breeze, number one, do Black Americans have the quote unquote stand your ground to defend them based on what you heard?
Certain situations, yes. Yeah, we always had the right to stand our ground. Hell yeah, always. Now, is the law gonna always be with us? Not necessarily, but we always had it right. But I'm gonna give an example when I say in certain cases, sometime I can name a place in Miami, right? Where this brother, he was in a restaurant ordering him some food, and then 2-3 Urugus coming there ordering food. I used to have it on my channel, but you can't show us winning. They made me take it down. But anyway, and picked a fight with him and started swinging on him. And he pulled out his gun and he shot 2 of them. They ran, got in the car, drove off, had a wreck and killed themselves on the way to the hospital after being shot. And he stood there, waited for the police, took his carry license out, set it on the register and on the counter. And all the people from Waffle House was like, well, the other guys started it and it was 3 of them trying to jump him. But he actually killed the one guy where he was hit. They said they think he was going to die anyway, and the other one died in the wreck. But he actually shot 2 of them and got off. So do we have the right? We always had a right. By law, not all the time. But you always got the right to stand your ground, defend yourself, though, always. That's my take on standing the ground, defending yourself. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. How about that? Can y'all hear me?
Very well. Yeah, very clear.
Oh, okay. And on that note, I'll yield the mic. I see you had a couple more people come up.
I appreciate it, Brother Bakari, and thank you. Jose, what say you first? How are you? Hope everything is well. And also, we asked the question: do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them? Shoot the breeze. Topic number one.
Yes, sir. First of all, let me greet the family. I haven't been on the panel for a while, so thank you for having me. Greetings to Koku, if he's there, if he's listening. Brother Bakari, yes, good to hear your voice again. But yeah, the topic: do black people have stand your ground? I'm gonna say it's a gamble. It's a gamble. You mentioned Zimmerman, and Zimmerman was the perpetrator. Zimmerman approached our son, and still he used stand your ground, while our brother Camilo, our son Camilo, he uh, he was approached, so he had the stand your ground situation was on his side, and still, but what I understand is that the jury, the judge, they all knew the father of the perpetrator, because yeah, he's dead, but he started it with his brother. So I what I understand, I saw a picture, I saw a photo, and I believe the judge even had his hands on the hips of his mother. So, and they were all cozying up in the picture. Also, broad smiles, some grins here and there, but they were all very happy, shiny, happy people. The judge, the parents of the carcass, and the jury. So I don't know, man. It's maybe that picture is more familiar. I see it from a distance, and so I miss a lot of these type of cases. I assume you guys in the United States see more of it and more details. But to me, that picture was okay. Here we go again, and that was it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, Jose. Just to give people a reminder, again, on Shoot the Breeze episode 245, I am Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku. The case that is being referenced in that clip that you guys see is a Texas County jury sentenced 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison on Tuesday for the murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet last year in 2025. It came hours after Anthony was found guilty of murder in the fatal stabbing. He faced up to life in prison. The jury had the option of finding him guilty of manslaughter or murder if they didn't find him not guilty. The two charges are distinguished by intent. Murder means the jury believed that Anthony knowingly caused the death of Austin Metcalf. Well, during the trial's punishment phase, Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, asked the jury for mercy. She said, quote unquote, "He's my oldest. He's my firstborn. He'll always be my baby, and I love him very much." And she asked if she believed her son had any regrets. She said, "Yes, I know my son. He was very sorry for what he did. Please have mercy on him." So during the closing arguments in the punishment phase, Anthony's defense attorney acknowledged how difficult the decision was for the jury and asked them to consider sudden passion in determining their punishment. They don't have to be sure, he said. They only need to believe that Anthony felt terror in the moment. The decision comes after both sides rested their cases, and Anthony's defense lasted 2 days. Again, just 2 days, Anthony's defense lawyers presented their cases and asked different witnesses, and ended without him taking the stand. Again, Anthony didn't even take the stand himself. So the prosecution argued that the stabbing was an unjustified attack on Austin Metcalf, while the defense said that Anthony acted in self-defense. But all right, let's get into Anthony. Anthony, welcome to the show. I hope you're well. And how are you? Also, asking the question on Breeze topic number one: do Black Americans have stand your ground to defend them?
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on, Jackadero, man? Peace, brother. Peace to everybody. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Every black person in America has a right to defend themselves, to stand their ground. I mean, it's like I would if somebody's threatening your life or threatening the life of your family, you then your rights as a human being to protect them. You know what I'm saying? I go back to what Brother Malcolm said, you're within your rights as a human being to defend yourself and to defend your family. Somebody's trying to bring on, so you do whatever you got to do. Now, in this society, you could go, okay. I mean, whether the government is on your side or not, whether the government or whatever country is you're in is on your side of what? Either you're gonna you're gonna live a free man, or you're gonna be a slave. You know what I'm saying? They told a slave he had no rights that the white man recognized, he couldn't defend himself. Well, if you're gonna be a slave, let him kill you. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be a free man, you're gonna do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Which also leads me to Claude, what's the brother's name? Claude McKay, the brilliant brother from Jamaica, the writer. He said, if we must die, let it not be like some cornered hog in a corner or nothing. With our hands up. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do to defend yourself, defend your life, and to defend your family, regardless of what a government says, regardless of what legislation says. I don't give a damn, because look, guess what? Okay, if you let them kill you, you're dead. Okay, if you defend yourself and they get you, you're dead too. So, I mean, hell, me, I'm that type of brother. If I'm going to go, I'm going to take some of these motherfuckers with me. You know what I'm saying? The man who got his foot on my neck. So he's every black person is within their rights to defend themselves. Yeah, that's what I say.
I appreciate it, Anthony. Jose Bakari, after Anthony's thoughts, any rebuttals or maybe any other thoughts about, again, this case as well as the bigger issue at hand? Do Black Americans have the law of stand your ground to defend them?
Okay, let me tell you something right quick, Jackadero. And what's going on, Anthony? What's going on, Jose? Jose, I be keeping up with what you do on Twitter all the time. I'm one of your followers. But I don't know what a Black American had a right to do. Now, African people who in a right African mind and not going to stop being African just to be an American, African Americans gonna have me and Anthony gonna have the right to Anthony. We gonna have the right to defend ourselves, right? The Black American, the people that just call themselves Black American, the people that just a Black American, in which I think that term has taken too big a hold on us.
I ain't hearing.
Huh?
Is it silent or is it me?
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, Bakari.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear Jose too.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jose, and we can hear you, Brother Bakari.
But yeah, we have a right, always gonna have the right to defend ourselves. Like I say, rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. It's just that simple. But you always, every man, even the Black American, but I know African American people in their right African mind, if we know we had a right to defend ourselves, regardless of what some white man wrote down on a piece of paper. So I agree with Anthony, and I agree with Jose. And you too.
I appreciate it, Bakari. Jose, any thoughts on this first topic again, based on everything that you've heard? Should Black Americans be relying on stand your ground to defend them?
So Jose must be muted.
It's either that or maybe.
No, I'm not muted. I wasn't speaking. I was just checking if it's maybe the connection, but yeah, to the hosts, maybe some background music, the theme song of the show or something. Give us a sign.
I'm not sure on what you're asking, Jose. I'm not sure, especially with the music. It depends on what type of music. This is YouTube. I know that YouTube can flag. In the past, I've had stuff in the background.
Check it out, Coco. What's going on?
Jose, are you hear me? Might be just your connection. All right. Well, in the chat, Lord of Slaughter says, no, we shouldn't be relying on any of their laws or rights. You know, I definitely agree with you, Lord of Slaughter. So then it asks the question, what are we doing in the United States then? You know, while we're here, are we just sitting ducks? You know, but Brother Bakari said it himself. You know, you have the right to defend yourself. You have to defend yourself, especially if you're a grown man. But if you can't rely on the law, what are we doing? What are we doing here? You know, this is a 19-year-old that will serve. Well, he's sentenced to serve 35. I don't know if Texas State allows him to serve only 50%, but you know, what do we do? Maybe something for a further conversation. But nonetheless, go ahead, Brother Bakari.
Can I say one more thing about something you just said? You said
Please.
You don't know if the state of Texas, is going to allow him to do 50%. He can go. Look,
absolutely.
If we ain't keeping an eye on this young brother, as Jose said, our young son, for people my generation, he won't. And I'm saying this in the nicest way as possible. We don't keep an eye on him, he might not make it. According to the rumors, that's if the rumors are true. They say the prison he's headed to, the Urugu that was justly killed, right? Say his uncle is the warden of that prison. Now that's the word on the slab that I heard. I don't know how true it is. I didn't look it up. So a lot of stuff I look up, but I didn't look that up. But somebody told me that. I saw it. Then somebody who I trust told me. He said he looked it up. But if that's true, what do you think is going to happen to this young brother? He's going to be in there with the Aryan nations. I'm quite sure. The Proud Boys, he's going to be where he have no type of protection. If we can't do what we have to do to get this brother a retrial. Retrial. An appeal.
There has been, at least here in Omaha, there has been GoFundMes that I'm aware of from our Black community in Omaha towards the Anthony family. I'm not sure on if it goes outside of Omaha, and I'm not 100% sure on, you know, what a retrial would do. For those that don't know, the jury was all white. All white.
No, it was 3 Asians.
Oh.
Even though I consider them white, but most people don't. So let's get it. It was 3 Asians on there.
That's tough. Any
Oh yeah, Brother Jacadero, I wanted to mention was some information that I had I read the information that I ran across, and I'm not 100% sure on it, but I heard also that the hunky of who Brother Bakar was talking about, it didn't say that he was the warden, it said that he had some affiliation with it. Now I don't know what that means. Like I said, I'm still trying to find out myself that he had some affiliation with the prison. And that's one thing. And so I'm looking into it. But the other thing is I want to say that I don't know if y'all heard they said that the Louisiana rapper Boosie was contributing $500,000 to his family. Have y'all heard? I mean, I from everything I've been seeing, it's supposed to be true.
I saw it on one of his. I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah.
Then Charles
that he's contributing $500,000 to his money. Yeah, that's what I heard. That he was contributing money to the family. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to throw that out there, too. And another thing, one thing. Well, I know everybody don't know how this prison politic thing go, but having experience of it myself, you have like in these prison systems, especially like in the Texas prison system. I have friends who did time in the Texas prison system, and yes, you have racist white gangs like the AB. Like the AB over there, those racist white gangs like that. You have Latino gangs, but you also have black gangs too, which are pretty much, were pretty strong over there too. And, and the brother might have to be forced to join into a gang, for protection and stuff like that. I just want to throw that kind of thing. I mean, not that that's here or there, but I'm just saying he will, if depending on, it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ifs. You know what I'm saying? But probably while he's doing time, the only protection that he's going to have is like if he had to become affiliated. with something. You know, it's just like if you know about the prison system, now how we have it here in Louisiana, how it is in California. You know, it's a racist prison system where, you know, what blacks with blacks and white was white and Latinos were Latinos. So he might have to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to throw those kind of things in to let her know, you know, for information's sake. That's all.
Hey, you know what? You're right, Anthony. There's one other thing that they say protect. That's why a lot of people come out of prison with a religion, Christianity or Islam. They say that's one thing that is respected. But I don't know if he's over there by himself, if he would have any protection. But Lord of Slaughter, I want to say I agree with you.
Okay, so what I understand is that I hear some of you and some of you not. So I'm going to do what Cuckoo proposed. I'm going out and coming back in again.
No problem, Jose.
Lord of Slaughter, I agree. You are correct. We're not trying to change that system. I think we want the young brother to know that we still standing with him. We're not going to alter their system, but until we get organized, I think this is what we can do. But I just want to let you know, I see what you said, and I do agree with what you said. Like, you hate to say it, but the brother is gone. There's a hard, bitter pill to swallow. There's a hard, bitter pill to swallow, but can't argue your point, Lord of Slaughter.
All right. Once again, I am Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku here on Shoot the Breeze, episode 245 on the Bitter Medicine Podcast. You are more than welcome. You that's watching, that's listening, to come on forward, not only to get in the chat, but if you want your thoughts to be heard verbally, audibly, you can go ahead and click on the StreamYard link pinned to the top of the chat. With that being said, we have a new panelist, Black Steel. First, how are you? Peace, brother. Welcome. And do you have the background on our Shoot the Breeze topic number 1? Are you familiar? Or
I'm doing good. Appreciate everyone on the panel. Yeah, I have a little bit of a background. I was watching online. I was, had some company. So, but this is a very important conversation. I feel I wanted to just drop my 2 cents in. So, first of all, as far as the prompt basically saying, do Black people have the right to self-defense? No, we don't. No, and they did a study not too long ago. So let me take it back. Legally, no, we don't. So they're going to say you do. Oh, everybody has the right to stand their ground, so on and so forth. But they did a study. It said that 99% of Black people who use sustain your ground defense against a white person was found to be not valid, right? So there's no situation that the white majority in this country believes exists that Black people should fear for their lives. We didn't look at Trayvon Martin. Now, this cracker was following this young man, and he still was seen as the perpetrator. He still was seen as the problem. There's been situations where Black people literally are running for their lives, and yet they're still considered to be the aggressor. So Carmelo was the same thing. And it's easy to sit back and say, yeah, he should have left, or he should have just responded. He should have just, fought the guy. That may be well and true. But the fact that this boy was over 6 feet, 200 pounds, 2-something pounds, him and his brother, 2 big football players. Carmelo's 5'7", not even 200, maybe 175. He's a much smaller guy. And we also know this. If it had been 2 big Black football players and a little skinny white boy, and he stabbed this Black football player, everybody would understand, oh, this white boy is a victim. These 2 big Black gorilla niggas were threatening him. You know how it would go. So, and in the same week where we had a Black man, a Black teenager, 14-year-old, shot in the back for almost after being chased for 100 yards. And the person who did this was found not guilty. So on one hand, if we run, we get killed. If we fight back, they want us to go to prison. So they've created a scenario where they're basically recreating what was called the Casual Killing Act back in the antebellum slave period, where a white person could do whatever they wanted to a Black person, And if you were to respond back and kill and fight back, your life would be forfeit. So many situations where Black people in this country defend themselves, protect themselves, the law is either lax. Like, for example, not too long ago, I think it was last week, this racist pulled up to a Black family reunion with body armor and AK-47. And the only reason he didn't kill everybody at the family reunion was because they had a Black person who was trained to fight, and he was able to take the guy down. And they're charging him with assault, not attempted murder. This man literally prevented a mass shooting, and they're charging him with assault. So
out on bail already. I don't mean to cut you off, but he out on bail already.
See, he's out on. Now think about it. We understand how this is. However, I would still say this. We still got to fight back. I don't care what laws they pass, right? Laws only have power if they're enforced. I am not going to sit back and let myself be murdered or a lamb led to the slaughter, okay? What's the saying these crackers like to say? It's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6, right? Basically, mean it's better to have your day in court than have people putting you in the ground. As much as I hate what happened to Carmelo, and I believe this young man was railroaded, and they're going to try for an appeal. They're in Texas, so I don't know the success of that appeal. But I will say he definitely deserves a new trial. The fact that they struck all the Black jurors from the jury, the fact that the judge knew the family, the fact that his friend, his quote unquote homeboy, lied under oath, right? He said he didn't really know Carmelo like that. Turns out the young man is his girlfriend's cousin. They done hung out 3 times the month before. He was the one who invited him in the tent. You know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden he don't know it. My son thinks they were trying to set Carmelo up to get jumped. That's what he believes. And then he fought back and he killed the one boy. Keep your hands to yourself, man. There was no reason to press that man. You know, if he wasn't supposed to be in your tent, you go get a teacher. You go get somebody who's an admin. That's not your place to tell him where he can and can't be. You're not his father. But the idea that white people really do believe in their hearts that they have the right to police Black bodies. They have the right to tell you where you can go and where you cannot go, where you can sit and where you can't sit, right? And that's really the whole impetus behind this. This white boy felt he had the right to tell a Black boy where he could and couldn't be, right? And Carmelo refused to go out like that. Yeah, he could have said, you know what, it ain't worth it, man. I'll just go ahead to another tent. But in that moment, he didn't feel like he had to. And you know what? It comes a point in everybody's life where we're just not taking it anymore. Black people, we're sick of it, right? You don't own us. You can't tell us what to do. That white boy, I don't know who he felt he was, who he thought he was. But at the end of the day, he's dead. Carmelo got 35 years. They say with good behavior, he can be out 17, right? But Metcalf ain't never getting up out of that grave. 17, 35, 100, he's never getting anything out of that grave. And I'm just looking at it like this whole situation could have been avoided. But, you know, Black people don't have the quote unquote right to self-defense, but you better take it anyway. We have to realize where we are. We in Jim Crow. I want to say Jim Crow 2.0. I think we might be in Jim Crow 3.0. I think that we got to really understand where we are as African people in this country and what we need to do to survive. And some of us may be lost, but it's better that some of us be killed in body than all of us be killed in spirit. And that's really what they're going for. This young man had to do what he had to do. I wish for a different outcome, but I had a feeling, my spider sense tingling. He was cooked from the minute they picked that jury. I'm surprised his attorney didn't ask for a change of venue, have it in another county because it's so charged. And that lawyer they had, he was garbage. He didn't try to cross-examine anybody. He didn't even call Carmelo up to the stand to tell his side of the story. And if you're claiming self-defense, they want to hear your side, right? Why did he even bring him up on the stand to say something? Even him carrying a knife, he in Texas. Texas is an open carry state. I can walk into the goddamn Dunkin' Donuts with a rocket launcher on my back, according to Texas law. If that's what I want to do, it's an open carry state. So they're trying to say it was premeditated. At the very worst, it should have been manslaughter. But him saying, what did he say? Him saying, "Touch me and see what happens," was his example of premeditation. It's all nonsense, man. It's all nonsense. The young man was railroaded. He deserves another trial. And he needs some competent attorneys as well, because this is a complete sham job. So thank you so much. I'm still here. I'm gonna go ahead and let the next person talk. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Black Steel. Fellas, gentlemen, and also ladies that are in the chat, you're more than welcome to go ahead and get on to the panel. The link is pinned to the top. But fellas that are currently on the panel, any rebuttals or any added statements to Black Steel's thoughts?
One more thing I'm going to add to what Black Steel said when he talked about the white boy shooting up the family reunion. That was in a little town in Georgia. And he said he had someone trained. Yep, but another reason he stopped shooting, it was two black dudes had guns and started busting back. They claim he was hit. I don't know if he was hit or not, but they also had two people. They start, if we talking about the same incident, it's the same thing. Got off with assault. With assault, he made bail already. But yeah, two black people start busting back, and that stopped his shooting.
Hey, look here. I've seen the video. My sister-in-law, she lives in Georgia now. She sent me, I seen some extras of the video, man, with his hunky went and dressed up in the armor thing and everything. And you seen these black men and women, these children running, trying to, screaming, in terror, man, this fool got a gun and everything. And like I said, the brothers, they took care of business, man. And, I wish they'd have killed the hunky. But I'm saying, stuff like that, man. I mean, we got to, man, look at we as black people, man, African people in this country, we got to realize one thing. Fuck the law. I don't give a damn about the law. I mean, it's a criminal law anyway. What I'm saying, I mean, the criminal justice system in America, this system is a criminal system. You know what I'm saying? You talking about some criminals came over and established this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you're not bound to respect a law that some criminals created, man, to protect themselves, man. You got to protect yourself regardless. I don't give a damn about what the law say, man. The law don't mean shit to you if you're black. It don't mean shit to you if you're black. You know what I'm saying? Remember, the same laws they got said your black ass was going to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? The same laws said you was a subhuman. You know what I'm saying? The same laws have been discriminated against you for your whole time you've been in this country. It ain't never been for you. Not ever. Not one day. And it ain't now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, on the top, okay, America, no. But you got to realize, like, brother, hey, you ain't no motherfucking American. White people know what an American is. It ain't you. It ain't my black ass. It ain't your black ass, Jacadero. You know what I'm saying? And name, yeah. But it ain't us. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got hyphenated things. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the hell with a motherfucking law, man. The hell with the law. You can't worry about no damn law, man. Nigga, you gonna even live or die. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take care of me and my family, man. And hey, what Claude McKay said, if we must die, don't let it be in vain. So that's what I say, man. The hell with the law, man. You got to defend you and yours, regardless of what the law say. Because you're gonna lose either way it go. You know what I'm saying? If you kill them, you go into jail. You know what I'm saying? Or the police might kill you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if you let them do what they want to do, you're gonna die. So I mean, what you gonna do, man? The hell with it. We got to go out like strong African men and women, defending ourselves and defending our people.
Can I add one more thing? And I ain't trying to
Please.
Okay. We also have to be vigilant and keep your head on the swivel at all times, right? I know it started talking about the young brother, Carmelo, and him being in prison for justly doing what he had to do to the Urugu. But I'm going to use this for an example. I was talking to my brother, Koku. It was yesterday. And as I'm out, I go, it's an elderly black couple here. They have a fruit stand, right? They farmers and they bring their fruits out, right? And I'm up there buying. And I talk to him. I go up there and I talk to him. And there was this Yorugu, I don't know if he homeless or not, walking around. But anyway, the lady was like, I don't like he make me nervous. She said he bought a tomato, but he's standing over me trying to look in the register. The elderly black man was like, yeah, man. Because I was about to leave. He was like, don't go yet, man. I don't trust this guy. So he said something to me. Thank you for your service. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I guess he just figured I was in the army. But as he go to talking to me, he pulled out his knife, not like trying to attack me, but to let me, the way I take it. And if you, I used to like to fight a lot. So if you ever been in a situation where you fighting and you've been chilling and somebody just pulling out a knife just to pull out a knife, the way we see it is, okay, he let me know he got a knife. Well, I let him know I had a 9mm. I didn't say nothing. I just raised my shirt so he could see it. The lady told him to leave. The old man told him to leave. He left him over there. But then when he saw me, now he got on his bike and he rode off on his bike. I was not about to lead those black people up there with this dude. She was like, he act like he crazy, but he ain't crazy. With this dude, they're not comfortable around. They're not even comfortable. They're not comfortable with him, even though he spent money. Say he bought a tomato, a couple of tomatoes or something like that. Even though he spent money, they wouldn't comfortable with him. He's the only customer I ever heard them say that about. They weren't comfortable with him. So I was have to be willing to look out for our people. Because say I leave and something happened to that elderly couple, man. They like they look like they from the mid-70s to early 80s, right? So what if I leave and something happened to them, man? We have to be willing to. So you know what? We're gonna look out for one another. We're gonna look, because I was not leaving till he left. But I made sure, like he made sure he let me know he had a knife. I made sure I let him know I got a 9mm. And those are the things I think we're gonna have to do, protect one another.
Man, I you know, Brother Bakari, I appreciate you in that service. I thank you for your service. Let's say that. One of the things that it reminds me of is that before my mom moved back to the Midwest, we actually used to live in Houston when my parents separated. And so she stayed in Houston when we were brought back to my dad's here in the Midwest. And I asked her, I said, before you moved back to the Midwest, what? And in the chat, man, they loving you, Brother Bakari. They saying, that's what I'm talking about, Bakari. I asked my mom, I said, what was one of the things that you missed about Houston? And she lived in Southwest Gessner, for those that are familiar with Houston. And she said that one time in line at the gas station, there was a Mexican that tried to jump in front of her in line. And she said that she was going to speak up for herself, but two, I don't remember how old these brothers were, but she said two black guys came in and said, yo, what you doing? To the Mexican. And then the Mexican said, oh, and he acted like he didn't see my mom. And she said that, you know, the real feeling of community. Not to say that necessarily wouldn't happen here in the Midwest, but just the fact that not one, but two brothers who didn't even know each other said that, you know, spoke up and said, hey, what you doing? You know, you ain't about to just jump this lady, you know, like in front of the line. What's wrong with you? Where's your respect? And Brother Bakari just reminded me of that, you know, that sense that, you know, we really have to be together. I don't know if this applies with Carmelo Anthony's situation, because Black Steel, I'm glad that you're a teacher, because when I first heard this case, I said, I'm going to be honest. I said, what type of shit has Carmelo Anthony been through for him to bring a pocket knife to a track meet? I was a track runner myself, 100s and 200s. There was never a thought in my mind. I grew up here in the Midwest. I never had an inkling to bring any type of weapon, let alone a knife, to attract me. So what type of tormenting? It's almost like, did these two know each other? Like, why did he feel the need to bring a knife? And again, I'm not blaming him. I'm more like saying, what is going on in some of these places in the United States? Maybe you guys can expound on that. But Black Steel, when you talked about this, like, being an educator, I gotta ask. I know we're spending a lot of time on topic number one, but I gotta ask: do you, as a teacher, sometimes see situations where you're like, I'm not 100% sure on if these two students get along with each other, and the last thing I need is for them to have a situation now where police are involved? Has that happened? And again, we're going off topic here, but again, Carmelo Anthony initially brought in, the reason why we're even talking about this is because he stabbed this white boy.
Well, we have situations where we have what's called the no contact order, right? If two kids have gotten into a fight, they got into a disagreement multiple times, then we have it set up to where there's no contact. Like, they have all their classes separated. Or if they have the same class, they'll let us know. The admin will let us know that that they're not able to work together. Don't sit them next to each other. So we do have situations in place where two kids have altercations or have history. Then we can separate them. That's something they do have in place. But they didn't go to the same school together, and I don't know if they did have history. I don't know if that was part of the problem. But there are situations where two kids just simply don't get along, and they have the no contact order, where they don't even have the same lunches anymore. They don't have the same classes. The goal is to stay away from each other. And, as teachers, we got to kind of look out, see if because kids talk, and if they trust you, they'll tell you. We got a whole thing in my school where there is a fight. The kids like to record the fight and post it on an Instagram page. So every school got a fight page where they go back and they show the kids fighting on Instagram. They post the videos. It's quite, I don't even know what to say about that. But the whole thing about the admin, they do have it set up to where, no contact orders. You can't stay over there. You can't be around each other. That's something that they do. Yeah, and I feel like if they had history, they went to the same school, there might have been. But I think that, I don't know the whole history behind it, because again, Carmelo didn't take the stand. We don't know his side of the story. It was just crazy. As the attorney, why you let them formulate this lie on you, or you didn't even get a chance to tell your story? Who was their attorney? He was an asshole. Yeah, and I hear what Koku's saying about Black people in America should go. Man, there's 50 million Black people in this country, if not more, right? If every Black person, if 1,000 Black people decided to go back every year, what country going to take 50 million Black people in? This might be an individual solution, and I'm not saying that it's as an individual, yeah. But for all of us, nah, man, that's not happening. That's not happening. 50 million. Look at what's going on in South Africa now. They don't like the few foreigners coming in their country now. You think if 50 million Black people into Nigeria, Black Americans, it would be smooth? Man, it would take us hundreds of years to even consider such a plan. And as fast as we got Black people going over there, there'd be Black people being born over here. That was the same mathematics that they did back at the end of the Civil War. The idea that Black people, all of us, could commit a great exodus and just leave, man, that would take hundreds of years. And what about not just Black people in the United States? What about the ones in all of the Caribbean and Latin America? Man, it would take thousands of years for that to happen. I don't think that's a reasonable solution.
I appreciate it, Black Steel. Yeah, I just wanted to ask that question just because, growing up, in high school, I never would have thought to bring a knife. Well, then again, I never had any prior history with
Jack and Daryl. Let me tell you a situation. I had this one girl, right? And let me tell you, the girls legit are more vicious than the boys. So this one girl brought some pepper spray to school, and it was like 3-on-3, 3 girls versus another 3, one friend group versus another friend group. It was legit like some kind of WWE match, right? But Yeah, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. They had served breakfast, and they went to fight, and they pepper sprayed it. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, you brought pepper spray at 8 o'clock in the morning? That young lady got expelled because pepper spray counts as a weapon. So yeah, she got expelled for that, for bringing that to school.
They went Charleston White on them, huh? The pepper spray, man. That's serious. I don't know if anybody here has had pepper spray. I've never been pepper spray, never been around pepper spray, but from those that I know, they say that you're pretty much incapacitated for the rest of the day, depending on what time it is that you got hit. Just because not only are you can't see, but it actually burns. And one person also said to me that it felt like there was acid, pretty much like just the lightest toxicity of acid on their skin. In the chat, we're going crazy. In the chat, it was asked on, because we have and look at this, the Bitter Medicine podcast. We're getting super chats now, so that's pretty awesome. Lord of Slaughter says we have to prepare for an exodus, in reference to, again, the stand your ground or the lack of stand your ground laws protecting Black Americans. Black still asks, exodus to where? And Jose says Senegal. Coco 911 says that's a good question. Besides those with a home country, quote unquote, maybe their parents or grandparents are from an African or Caribbean country, where should Blacks in America go? And Erica, what's going on, Erica? By the way, welcome to the Shoot the Breeze episode 245, excuse me. Whoa, sorry, Coco, if you're listening, episode 245. And Erica says, why can't they just leave us alone? Why can't they just leave us alone? But keep in mind, Erica, that these are the same group of individuals that came into Africa. So it's not like, but that might be a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Lord Asada says we keep in the Caribbean. I don't know if you're any close to any hotel resorts, especially in Jamaica, come to find out that, some of these public beaches are coming fewer and fewer by the day. Any other thoughts, panelists? Anthony, Bakari, Black Steel, Jose, on this Shoot the Breeze topic number 1. We're at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time Zone. I love it. Any other thoughts before we get into topic number 2? Let me know.
Nope. Let's move on to the next one.
All right. Well, it is June here in the United States. I only laugh just because it's interesting. Once June 1st starts, it seems like, the different companies, right? Whether clothing companies, beverage companies, they start to embrace a certain community here in the United States. But then once July 1st comes around,
oh man,
I'm
having sound problems again. I'm outending again.
Oh, sorry.
Give me a sec.
All right. But yes, once July 1st rolls around, that same group isn't being highlighted by companies. You're probably wondering, Jacadero, what are you talking about? How about this? Let's go into Shoot the Breeze topic number 2. And we're asking, did we also practice, quote unquote, pride in Africa again? Fellas, ladies, relax. This is not necessarily an endorsement, but is asking the question. And again, it's brought to you with a video from one of our conscious brothers, our Black conscious brothers. You've probably seen him on social media if you are, what do they call, chronically on social media. And he may bring evidence to practicing pride in Africa. Again, I'm Jacadero, probably filling in for Brother Coco on Shoot the Breeze episode 245. Hit the like button if you haven't already. It makes the algorithm show to like-minded individuals. Let's go to Instagram for our video that goes with the Shoot the Breeze topic number 2. Did we also practice pride in Africa? Stand by.
Before colonizers pulled up were called Maduko Dako, and they represented a distinct pre-colonial third gender status among the Langi people in the neighboring Teso and Karunga. This is in northern Uganda, and it's important that we understand this history, the Pride Month, because a lot of y'all are lost in the sauce of Western heteronormativity. Before I go any further, I'm a little country, so my Texas drawl and Southern vernacular make the enunciation of some of these words a little so I apologize if I'm butchering any of them. Now, back to this pre-colonial history. The Maduko Dako was assigned male at birth, and these individuals were considered womenized men who wore women's clothes, adopted traditional female roles, and were socially and legally permitted to marry men. Before the British brought their beans and toast colonial ways to the shores of the Nile, before the word illegal was stamped on to love, we had an understanding that was more inclusive, that understood for the community. On the lands of the Langi, the Tosa, and the Karomju of the, I'm saying that wrong, Karomjun, in the northern Uganda, there existed a truth that many were taught to forget. You should really show this video to somebody that believe effeminate men in our community comes from the European. Show them. Now, just sprinkling some linguistic context, the term Maduko Dako translates literally to effeminate males or womanized men. And the practice was also observed in the neighboring tribes throughout northern Uganda. They were viewed as an accepted part of the community's gender and social diversity, rather than them being marginalized and rather than them being always erased. They cooked, they cleaned, they cared for children, they worked the land. Not in shame, though, but in full view of the villages. It was the Europeans that brought their deviancy and marked it onto their bodies. And when they loved men, that love became marriage, legal, socially sanctioned, celebrated. Do you understand? Historically speaking, a man could take a Maduko Dako as his wife and no elder raised the spear in protest. Because the Langi and some of their neighboring tribes understood that gender is not a line, but it's a landscape that we all can paint on our own canvas. A lot of scholars talk about how gender is performative, but contrary to popular belief, a lot of our ancestors believe the same thing. This is the part that's gonna piss some of y'all off. In this culture, they believe that this identity came from God, that it was innate and it was not invented. Some even participated in rituals that stimulated menstruation. And this was observed by an anthropologist by the name of Jack Drumberg. He was a European, but it happened in 1923. So fully did they embody their lived womanhood, and it had nothing to do with the way that we mark on Western identities on our bodies right now. When I first got into the conscious community as a youngster, I was told that the gay agenda in itself was an attack on the Black family household, where it made me believe that the mere presence of same gender loving, effeminate man was a mere attack on my own identity, and I had to unlearn it. And I hope this video can help y'all unlearn it too. The Maduko Dako wasn't just tolerated, they were celebrated, in some instances they were even envied. A living reminder that the Creator does not make mistakes and that nature loves the variation, because the most effeminate man in East Africa before colonizers pulled up.
All right. Once again, I'm Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku here on Shoot the Breeze episode 245. Hit the like button if you haven't. We're on our second Shoot the Breeze topic, and it asked, did we also practice pride in Africa? That video was by content creator Conscious Lee. I've seen him a lot, and he is bringing evidence that in parts of Uganda, effeminate men were not only celebrated, but embraced in northern Uganda, and also could legally marry, contrary to today's Ugandan politics, where you're going to be serving some time if you openly showcase that you are not a heterosexual. In the chat, we're asking to drop an emoji if you're enjoying the conversation. We got several emojis. Erica says, somebody's about to get mad. Huh? Lord of Slaughter says, in reference to the last topic's question about Exodus, where would we go? Says, when I say we leave, we go to the Caribbean and South America, as well as Africa and all Black nations. But Koku 911 asks, have y'all heard of this before? The doctrine of embracement and familiarity with the homosexuals of Uganda. Lord Slaughter says no. And Trigger Happy says, I think the first question we need to ask is, how much did the Maafa affect the regions of Uganda? Lord Slaughter says, I don't rock with Conscious Lee like that. He's too westernized for my taste. While he's wearing an African fabric. Hey, it's all good though, man. I appreciate each and every one of your guys' perspective. Remember, if you are of any Black walk of life and you want to be on the Shoot the Breeze episodes, come through. Whatever it is, come through. We want to hear from you. We'll start off with Brother Bakari. Brother Bakari, from what you've heard, what you've seen, we asked the second question. Let me see if I can even find it. But yeah, did we practice pride, quote unquote, in Africa, according to
Do I
what
think that was good? Look, me and my good brother in the chat, Guy, we didn't have this conversation. Do I think there were gay people in Africa before white folks? Yes, because I think something got to be mentally wrong with you. I had never heard in Africa what he is saying, but I had heard it go. I had heard about it in Hawaii. I had never heard of it in Africa until consciously, but I'd heard of this in Hawaii. And in Hawaii is an ancient tradition that's still practiced today, where woman say they have 3 kids, all boys. They can raise one of them. One of them is raised as a girl, and they grow up and people see them as a girl, and men marry them. So do I think homosexuality just came from white folks? No, because I think it's a mental disease. Do I think that Europeans, the way they do things were, because while they talk about how bad homosexuality is, they didn't just rape women, they raped the men. They raped the men too. But in my mind, I couldn't say that no one in Africa was gay. I think it's a mental. I think that's like I said, a mental problem. I do think it was the people, the Europeans, who said we need to abuse them because they're gay. Because we all black on here. If we honest, we all knew somebody gay in the neighborhood that you grew up, right? You didn't hang around, like y'all didn't go places. Like I knew gay folks that played basketball, right? We knew they were gay since they were little. Come to find out, one of them, who was my friend, we were little, on his deathbed, come to find out he told how he had been messed with since he was 4 or 5 years old by one of his uncles. But and that's what I mean when I say that gay stuff is a mental problem. Yeah, do I believe somebody was not? I had never heard of that. That's what we're asking. I had never heard of the Madinko Dako that Conscious Lee is talking about. And I know people say they don't rock with Conscious Lee, but Conscious Lee is kind of smart. I can listen to Conscious Lee, and not the fact that I rock with everything that he said, but Conscious Lee is Conscious Lee, if you listen to him, Conscious Lee is smart. And I think what he's doing here, what I've heard other black people do, they want to say they care about black people and they don't want to see nobody hurt because they're gay. But a lot of these black gays don't put their blackness first, they put their gayness first. On that, I yield the mic.
I appreciate it, Brother Makai. Please excuse me, guys. I just
hey, but that's East Africa, Jackadero. Ain't you from East Africa?
I knew this was coming. I knew somewhere, some way, somehow.
I got one for him too.
All right. Before we get into our next panel, let's read some of the comments, and of course, let's start off with the super chats. If you're a viewer, you want a super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Money no the ting. Money no the ting. So Q Don sends us $5. Ask in the last Shoot the Breeze topic number 1. There are no laws black people can rely. Laws equals legal arm of white supremacy or hegemony. Lord of Slaughter says we have to prepare for an exodus. I appreciate that. We already read that. And then Q Don again sends another super chat. The only pride that I celebrate is straight black pride. I see Q Don. All right, let's go ahead and in the regular chat. And again, you don't have to contribute to super chat. It's nice, but you don't have to. Lord Slaughter said gay people deserve human rights, but they don't get to make themselves a fake woman. I knew this was kind of getting I knew that this topic was going to was gonna bring out a lot. Trigappy says also when this topic happens, lots of feminists or feminist leaning people typically misinterpret African cultural practices all the time. Like a woman to woman marriage was mostly about surrogacy. Oh, so meaning, hey, I can't have a kid. You want to go ahead and you want to go ahead and have the kid for me. Was that what you're referencing, Trigger Happy? I don't know. Black Steel, what say you? Are you in the ideology or in the thought that we practice pride in Africa prior to colonialism?
Well, let me say this, man. This is my thoughts about this. There were people who were homosexual prior to European colonization. I don't think that's something that is completely unheard of, right? I mean, gay people exist everywhere. Homosexuality is found in nature. So I don't think that's something that is completely, alien to our culture. But I don't think that it was celebrated. It was more like, okay, y'all do y'all thing. They weren't having parades or whatnot. This to me, here's the thing, man. This conversation about, gay people and okay. So let me say this. I don't think gay people should be mistreated, hurt, harmed, anything else like that, right? I'm sorry, my nephew's here. Be quiet, boy. Anyways, I'm not a fan of mistreating gay people. I believe they should be treated well. However, there was not this celebration. It was more like, okay, it existed. And Africa is a big continent, right? Every culture dealt with different things differently. So who's to say what was being done in West Africa might be being done in South Africa, East Africa, North Africa, the huge Central Africa, huge continent. But I'm at the point, I'm like, okay, so what? So yeah, they gave it back then. Okay, so what? What you want us to do with that? That was hundreds of years ago. I can agree that gay people should be, shouldn't be mistreated. They shouldn't be hurt, harmed, or whatever, and leave it at that. I don't feel the need to just constantly bring this. I don't know. It's just, to me, it just seems like we got bigger fish to fry. We are legit under genocidal oppression. The gay stuff got to take a back seat right now. We doing triage, okay? So I can agree. I can agree that gay people shouldn't be hurt or harmed, but I also agree we got more important things to worry about. And that's just my thoughts on that. I'm not well versed in the history of pre-colonial Africa to say he's wrong or right. If he's right, so what, man? Again, we got more important things to worry about. I guess he's trying to say we shouldn't oppress gay people. Okay, whatever, man. But again, we got more important things to be concerned with. So that's my thoughts. I'll leave it there.
I appreciate it, Black Steel, and say what's up to the nephew for us, huh? Q Don says, consciously as an ally of the Alphabet Crew, I don't really rock with this content. Trigger Happy says, in the case of Africa, it gets difficult because Africa is strongly about natalism and children, and that's across all corners of the continent and cultures. Lord of Slaughter says, I think that we should take the Canary Islands and give it to the gay. Oh my God! Hey, if this broadcast gets shut off, it's because I'm reading comments. YouTube, please, man. We're here to just dialogue. We're here to just have good dialogue. Come on, YouTube, be easy. Let's go ahead. Let's go with Jose. Jose, what say you? Did we practice, from what you've seen, what you've heard? Did we practice pride in Africa prior to colonialism?
Unfortunately, I didn't hear the previous speakers, but I'm logging in, I'm logging out, logging in, and each time it's somebody else that I don't hear. But this brother is doing too much. This brother is doing too much. I think I've seen documentaries or shorts about this tribe. And I don't remember marrying. I remember them dancing, wearing women's clothing, and even some type of makeup, jewelry, etc., and dancing. The suspicious dancing, like shaking butts and shit. But I don't remember anything about marrying. And then he goes like he pushes it further, like, yeah, neighboring tribes also, blah blah. I was listening. In my opinion, I was listening to blah blah to somebody. Some of these influencers they do too much. You know, they want to be special, or they want to bring something shocking or controversial. And I think he was on that tip. I mean, toi, or what you call pygmies. Their women have several men. Should the whole continent do that because some tribe in Congo does that? Come on now, come on now. You know, influencers need the shock value or the controversy, and that's, in my opinion, that's 100% what we were looking at. Hotep shit, you know, Hotep shit. Let me put it that way. Thanks.
I appreciate it, Jose. You got people in the chat enjoying themselves. He said suspicious dancing. Our matron, awesome. What's going on? Our matron says gay people were there. In reference to Shoot the Breeze topic number 2, did we celebrate Pride in Africa prior to colonialism? Gay people were there, but our matron says that. But the way that the gay agenda is shoved down our throats, pause, pause. And the way that the gays want their rights to supersede black rights is wrong. Trigger Happy says usually different forms of poly relationships is due to population numbers. Anthony, what say you, man? From what you've seen, what you've heard, you said you're familiar with Conscious Lee. Did we have pride in Africa prior to colonialism?
Okay. First of all, I want to say, hey, Jose was hilarious, man. He'd be cracking up, man. Oh man, Jose had me cracking up. Okay, I know that brother, man, Consciously, he a pretty good brother, man. And like, okay, I think what he really was trying to do, it was like, the homophobia thing that we have like in our community. You know how it is among us black people, us African people. I remember I had Haitian friends, brothers from Haiti. Like in Haiti, I remember he was telling me about growing up in Haiti. Like they called certain guys, back in the day we called them, the names that we called them. Well, they said in Haiti they called him a Volkswagen. So he had a motor in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call a gay guy, a gay person. They called him a Volkswagen. We had our names, but I think there is like a element of the I don't want to say black gay people, but I want to say this just like like you was looked at as weak. Oh, that's a weak dude. And we know any of us, me, Black Steel, Brother Bakari, we all can tell you, all us growing up in the black community, especially we growing up in church, Brother Bakari can tell you, look here, did nobody have no problem with that old sissy in the choir. You know what I'm saying? That led the choir. You know what I'm saying? We all us and everybody knew it was a sissy, and then nobody messed with. As we called them sissies back in the days. So I'm saying it's always been a thing in our community, and yes, in parts of Africa, like Black Steel said, it's a huge continent, 12 million square miles, millions of people, many different groups. Of course, there was in some places there was something like that. You seen something like that? Of course, there was some gay people somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm not on the alphabet team. I mean, I respect all black people's life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to see nobody get killed. But I mean, I ain't pushing that agenda. What I'm saying though, I think what Brother Consciously was doing, he was trying to basically they still black. You know what I'm saying? And we want to have this thing, we need to deal with this thing. We have all these intersectionalities, like this homophobia thing, like the patriarchal thing, feminism, all these intersectional things that really, in my opinion, is something to throw us off and to keep us from getting where we want to get at. Okay, that part being said, I remember what Brother Bakari was saying about that third gender thing. I ran across that before, and you see it a lot in India. We had this third gender thing in India, where you see that at. It was something I was looking at. I ran across on TV, and I was saying, I'm like, damn, because at that time they had this whole tradition thing of what you read in the Bible called eunuchs. These eunuchs, these castrated males. You know what I'm saying? And we know that the Arabs did a lot of that stuff with African men. in the Arab slave trade in East Africa and in the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean basin, where they would take some men and they would castrate them and have them over harems and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we seen that part right there. And in the Pacific, and among Samoan culture, and like in Pacific Islander culture, like in Hawaii too, what Brother Bakara mentioned, I seen it before then too. You know, I seen that kind of thing about this third gender thing, you know, and it was kind of like it was almost kind of like a population control thing, like for, you know, because these people lived on islands, you know, and you know, want to overpopulate and stuff like that and use about it was something to do, and I don't want to get too deep into that. But like, yes, in certain parts of Africa, but I think also that a lot of people, especially these European anthropologists and scholars, and then some of our people who look at some of our African cultures in different places, you know, and if you look up at stuff, you can find it. Well, some of us look at things and say, oh, see there, that was the gay, you know, that was homosexual and all this old shit here. You know what I'm saying? And they misinterpret things because in West Africa, you had a nomadic people known as the Wadabe people. The Wadabe people. Jagadera, I don't know if you heard of the Wadabe people. They're nomadic people.
They're a branch of the Fulani. What you know about them?
Yeah, beautiful black people, man. Beautiful black people in you're part of the Fulani people, those groups. You know, in the Sahel region. Now, one thing about the Wadabe people, like when the women, and you see the Wadabe women are so beautiful. But I'm saying, when they have their marriage ceremony, when they getting ready, when it's time for Wadabe women to get ready to get married, okay, and they want to choose a male partner, you know what I'm saying, choose a husband. One thing that they do, they have a ceremony. It's almost like a beauty pageant where the men dress up like women. They put on makeup and all of this stuff. And they talk about, and the women will stand by and watch them, and they dance with. That's what made me think what Jose was saying about shaking the behinds and stuff, and all that stuff. They're doing these weird dances. Well, the men would do that, and what happened? The women would stand back and watch, and they would look for the man with the prettiest teeth or with the prettiest eyes and all of those stuff here, all of their features and everything. And they would go over and they would stand by the man and put a hand on the shoulder, and that's how they picked the husband. You know what I'm saying? Among the Wadabe people. And this is what and I think that some Europeans who went there looked at that and said, these men dressing like women. You know what I'm saying? And then some people among our people who get off into this these different ideologies, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, always talking about the patriarchy and all this here, you know, will say, see that was there too. And all this old stuff. And they misinterpret some African cultures, some cultural things, some things that were more symbolic than that. You know, because, I mean, we wouldn't run around doing no pride shit, man, like celebrating gayness and all of those shit there. You know, that's a modern thing. What I'm saying, but there was, of course, if you go across this vast landmass, you're going to see something somewhere. I mean, it's in human, it's, all over the world. It's not just us. You see that everywhere. But I'm saying, the lastly, man, lastly, closing. Yeah,
you may be
lastly,
right. Maybe that's what I saw. You may be right.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, what I'm saying, Jose. I mean, I looked at that and I see the first time I seen it on National Geographic Explorer, and I was like, I just happened to walk in and see it. What the hell these dudes do? I said, them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking they some flaming sissies, but it was a marriage thing, and it was that the women, they would dress up in their best, whatever, and it was for the women to choose a husband. What I'm saying, but lastly, what I wanted to close with was this right here. Jagadero, the one I said I was going to get you on. Okay, you know that in East African history, one of the greatest leaders in East African history, he was a bad man. I mean, he was a bad man. He was the Kabaka of the Buganda Empire in East Africa, which was like which was one of superpower in East Africa.
Yeah, I've heard of this guy.
And his name was Mutesa. I don't know, was it Mutesa the first? But it was Mutesa, because there was a couple of Mutesas. It was 1 and 2 and 3 maybe. I think he was Mutesa the first or the second. But he was basically the man who laid like the foundations. He was the builder of the Buganda Empire in East Africa. You know, Buganda was a foremost military, a great kingdom, an empire in East Africa, even in the 19th century. The mid to late 19th century. Okay. Now, Mutesa, one thing about him, a great warrior, a great leader, everything. But one thing about Mutesa, he loved them boys. He loved them boys. You know what I'm saying? He was a homosexual, and he loved them boys. And it was one incident because when the Catholic Church was making inroads into the Buganda Kingdom, he had allowed for a long time he didn't allow them there. And so the Catholic Church, they came there, and they started set up the church and everything. Well, it was these young men, a group of young men, young Ugandan Catholic young men, who were like in the church, members of the church, like I don't know where they were, altar boys. What they was in the church, and Mutesa had summoned them to his residence, and he wanted to have sex with them, and they refused. And they want to have it anyway, and they refused. They didn't want to do it. And what happened? He ended up burning them alive. He roasted them alive burnt them at the stake, and they became canonized in the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? These young brothers in Uganda. I know. Have you heard of that, Jagadero, about Mutesa? About that?
I've heard either. I don't know if it was Mutesa the first or Mutesa the second.
No, I think it was Mutesa the first. I think it was him or the first or the second. I think it was the first. But
it might have been the first because the second was all the way up until the 60s. But I heard
he was the first. Yeah, he was the first.
I heard the first. I always heard the first was freaky. Was extra freaky. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. It happened, man. It occurred in in some parts. This wasn't like a color. We didn't see that everywhere. But of course, like being with human beings, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that happens sometimes. And you have somebody who got a sick mind. So who got a mind like that, who do stuff like that. But it's not indicative of all African people and everything, but it just happened there. Of course, somewhere you had some funny people. Everywhere we go, man, you got some funny people who we call funny people. You know what I'm saying? So, I lamb up ship right there. But yeah, no, we didn't celebrate Pride over there. We wasn't going around, flying them old funny color flags and nothing like that. But I'm saying, but of course, you would every now and then, you would see some stuff like that happen. I land my plane right there.
I appreciate it, Anthony, in the chat. Jose, you still have people laughing. Trigger Happy says, so many different behaviors and whatnot speaks to that. Yeah, again, Africa is not necessarily, quote unquote, a monolith. So, and in over 2,000 square kilometers of land, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of activities that can be going on. Trigger Happy says, sometimes, let me see if I can get this. Sometimes they confuse pedestry too as the same when that could be a product of the Ma'afa, meaning, the beginning of the enslavement of Africans. Koku 911 says, I heard a New York DJ say that Africans created pedestry. I don't know if that's true. I'm sorry, man. This is what happens though when you don't have enough. What's the word for it? You don't have enough authority on what can be said about you. Then conspiracies and rumors start. Pretty soon Africa will be too big. There will be too many networks for people to just be saying things without somebody checking them. YouTube, don't strike this channel, please, about what I'm next about to say. But you say something about the Jews, right away, there's somebody checking you like, hey, that's not what we do. Or, hey, that's out of context. When it comes to Africa, it's pretty much a free-for-all. And so you get, it's a combination of there's so much land, there's so much people, and also there's just not enough authority to check people. Again, a New York DJ had to say that Africans created.
Question.
Go ahead.
What is pedestry?
I don't know if I can get into it without getting flagged because this is live. So let me try my best here. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and have Google try to do this for me.
Explain.
When a grown man, I'm gonna say it. When a grown man, you ain't got to get Google. When a grown man,
8 years old.
When a grown man messing with a little boy, one of those Greek gods used to come down every year. I can't remember his name. Every year we get the most beautiful little boy. Oh, that's what it is. We can't. That's what it is. We can't be scared of these folks. People can say the N word with impunity, and we scared to just say what pedestry. However the hell you say that word is. That's what it is. And I hope I don't get to, but that's what it is.
It's not, Brother Bakari. It's not. I'm not worried about these words. I'm more just worried about, because this show is for you guys. This show is for, the listeners. We've been struck for less, as far as, what's the word, shadow banned, or just, maybe just the people in the panel would be the only ones to see based on what was said or what was shown. So, but you're absolutely right, Bakari. Is just, maybe in the future we need to look at, just our own platform, so that way we can go ahead and sound off and not have to worry about getting struck. But any other thoughts, guys? And also, ladies, come on, you're more than free to go ahead and get into the panel on Shoot the Breeze episode 245. Click the link pinned to the top of the chat. Fellas, any further thoughts here about pride in colonial Africa? If not, it's really interesting, huh? Like the word pride, at one point, just like what's that figure of speech? Give me a moment to think here. The New World Order. Both the New
Brother Jackadero, I'm sorry. Hey, can I say something real quick, bro? I'm going to talk about what you were just saying.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Brother Jackadero, think about this from the late 60s, the early 70s. Okay, when we had the whole black consciousness movement going on, the Black Pride movement. See, this was a co-op. See, just like you had, how you had when the Black Power movement. Check it out. When you had our movement going on among our people, black men and women, the Black is Beautiful movement. The white people, the whites came up with the white feminist movement. You know what I'm saying? To try to separate black men and black women. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it was the LGBT movement, but they call it the Pride. What they call it? Okay, we had the Black Pride movement, so they came up now with the Pride movement. You know what I'm saying? The Pride movement as the co-op, the Black Pride movement. The Black Pride movement, which meant black consciousness, African-centered consciousness, us with our dashikis and our afros and learning Kiswahili and stuff like that. When they co-opted that and created the LGBT movement, the Black Pride movement.
Same with woke. They rape.
The Pride movement, yeah.
They
Yeah, exactly. I was saying the same with woke. Well, woke used to be black, but now woke means something else.
Yes.
Yeah, even it's pretty disappointing. Even now, when you say the New World Order, you're tiptoeing along the lines of, political or socio-political occults or, Freemasonry. But, that was our thing. If anybody ever feels compelled, you can go and watch old YouTube videos of Dr. Amos Wilson speaking. And in the background, right in the background, is a New World Order poster. And it's nothing like what you will see on today's YouTube. Right in the background of Dr. Amos Wilson speaking. So it's just really, really interesting. Even if I can remember right, I think one of my uncles had a New World Order poster, and it had nothing to do with what you guys would see on TikTok and Twitter today. It had everything to do with Black and African liberation. So it's pretty interesting on how things can be flipped. But let's go ahead and let's flip from Shoot the Breeze topic number 2 to Shoot the Breeze topic number 3. And we're asking, all right, so Thursday, June 11th was the kickoff of the World Cup 2026. North America is home to the 3 host nations, Mexico, United States, and Canada. And the first game of the 2026 World Cup was held in Mexico City, and it was Mexico against South Africa. Now, if you have been living under a rock, this will come as a surprise to you. But if you haven't, well, then that goes without saying. But Africans all across social media and even in the continent did not cheer for the team that one would expect. What am I talking about here? Well, there's 2 videos to go with this prompt. Again, Shoot the Breeze topic number 3 asked, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team? Again, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team? I have 2 video prompts. we'll go with the first one, and let's exactly get some context to what I am referring to or what I am talking about. Let's go ahead.
Bro, yo, ain't you African? Why you supporting Mexico, bro? You African. Soy africano, pero today, hoy, soy mexicano, dale.
Many Africans are supporting Mexico against Africa in the World Cup.
I hope every Nigerian knows who we are supporting for this match.
Welcome, Mexico! Somos Mexico!
Dear Africans, I hope you all know we are supporting Mexico during this match, right? Hey! Right?
We are all supporting Mexico against South Africa.
Mexico!
Soy un hombre muy honrado que me gusta lo mejor. A mujeres no me falta ni el dinero ni el amor.
Bro!
Mexico! Mexico! La selección llegó!
Why are African fans backing Mexico at the World Cup?
I think probably all of Africa is rooting for Mexico!
As Mexico faced South Africa at the World Cup's opening game, fans from across Africa were posting videos backing Mexico. Mexico won 2-0. South Africa is one of 10 African teams playing at the World Cup, but the country is facing a surge in xenophobic protests and vigilante violence targeting migrants from countries like Nigeria and Zimbabwe. The violence is fueled by false claims blaming immigrants for unemployment, crime, and strained services. Anti-migrant groups have set a June 30 deadline for undocumented immigrants to leave the country. Ghana, Malawi, Zimbabwe, and Nigeria have already evacuated hundreds of people fleeing xenophobic attacks. While South Africa still has some support from African fans, for many, the World Cup is an opportunity to take a stand against xenophobia targeting other Africans.
All right. Once again, if you're just tuning in, I am Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku here on Shoot the Breeze episode 245. Go ahead and hit the like button if you have not already. It helps out the algorithm towards like-minded individuals like yourself. We're getting into our third Shoot the Breeze topic. And it asks, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team? If you were living under a rock, you will you'll be surprised to find out that the World Cup hosted by North American countries of United States, Canada, and Mexico, kicked off on Thursday, June 11th. First game in Mexico City was Mexico against South Africa, but Africans on the internet and in the continent did not cheer for South Africa. Those two videos went with the prop, and we asked, Shoot the Breeze topic number 3, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team? Jose, our Spanish-speaking brother, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team based on what you've seen, heard, and also what you were aware of? Maybe you were aware or were not aware prior to June 11th. Jose, you still with us? All right. Let me know in the private chat, Jose, if you're having issues. Brother Bakari, from what you've seen, what you've heard, and all the details of 2026, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team? Brother Bakari, maybe you're on mute. Jose, maybe you've been on mute.
Brother Bakari, you muted?
Maybe you stepped out. Anthony, Brother Bakari, Jose, if you can hear me, just let me know in the private chat if you guys are still on or having issues. But Anthony, what say you based on what you've seen, what you've heard, and what you know about South Africa and all the controversy this 2026 and years prior? Did Africans sell out by cheering for Mexico instead of South Africa on Thursday, June 11th?
Okay. All right. All right. Now check me out, Jackadero. I'm gonna talk like an African, man. I'm gonna talk like a African, an old school African from the continent, pre-colonial. Hey, pre-colonial. You know, I'm gonna do like our ancestors did. I said one thing, but I was meaning two things.
Please do.
You know what I'm saying? I was saying two things in one. You know, I mean, you know how our ancestors used to do when they met with those colonizers. Okay. All right. On the one hand, yes, they were selling out. On the one hand, but we have to preface it. We know why they were doing it. We know why many Africans were cheering for Mexico as opposed to the South African team. Okay, we understand because of the Afrophobia that's going on in South Africa. You know, we understand that part right there. That was the reason. But see, this is why I say this is our lack of political education. Our lack of education. You know what I'm saying? Our lack of real Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot Pan-Africanism today, it doesn't mean what it once meant or what it was originally intended to mean. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say, Jackadero. They were wrong for cheering for Mexico, okay, over South Africa. Because you know what? The South African soccer team, which was a bunch of brothers, that soccer team is not the one who was doing that bullshit that you're seeing going on the ground in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? When they went out there, they weren't representing, the xenophobia or Afrophobia or whatever. They was representing the continent of Africa. They were representing us as black people, as African people. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we understand why people, felt the way they feel because of what's going on. But see, this just shows a lack of our solidarity. Now, just think about this here. Do you think because, say, one European country had did something to immigrants or something like whatever, were doing something to immigrants or whatever, that all Europeans gonna go against them? You know what I'm saying? In an international scene. You know what I'm saying? No, what white folks do is what? They rally around each other. That's what they do. And that's our problem. We don't rally around each other. You know what I'm saying? We bring up tribalism and ethnic tensions and national border, these colonized borders that these white folks created. Well, I'm a South African, you know what I'm saying? And you a Zimbabwean or a Zambian or a Mozambican and all that. And we dwell on that. We get on that type of shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Well, here we go on the world stage. On the world stage. You know what I'm saying? No, representing our continent. Because see, we don't look at each other as each other. That's why I say, Jackadero, remember last week, not last week, but the week before last, when we talked. And we talked about the African identity thing. And remember, you said, well, me as an African. And what I said, Jackadero, I'm an African too. You know what I'm saying? I'm an African. Black still an African. Whoever else was on the panel, Kofi, we all Africans. And see, what I'm saying is we don't look at each other today as Africans. You know what I'm saying? The South African look at, hey, these other, hey, you're not an African. I mean, yeah, you are African, but you ain't the kind of African I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a South African. We recognize these borders that these Europeans drawed up instead of looking at ourselves as a unified people, as a united people. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not united politically, you know what I'm saying? Geographically, I mean, united as a people, as culturally, you know what I'm saying? As African people, as black people, representing where we from. Our heritage, our ancestry. You know what Dr. Kwame said and Nkrumah said. So I'm saying to go and cheer against an African nation in favor of Mexico. In Mexico, a nation with a history of discrimination and racism against African people. You know what I'm saying? Mexico don't treat their own black people good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't get out of our way with all of this with this ethnic thing, with this tribal thing. You know what I'm saying? I say tribal. I know that's a European but you know what I mean, Jackadero. We can't get past this bullshit. Well, I ain't gonna root for them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna root for them. Well, what's gonna happen when, okay, well, you gonna cheer for the Israelis or the Americans or whatever if they come to South Africa and try to take over and straighten it out for you? You know what I'm saying? We gonna cheer for the Israelis and Americans when they invade Africa, when they invade South Africa, or whatever, Paul. We gonna cheer for them when they invade Somalia and they invade Sudan or whatever. We gonna cheer. We gonna stand on the sideline and cheer for these foreigners invading our people, our land, not knowing that your black ass is next. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get paid. We gotta develop politically. We gotta mature politically, man, and get past the small stuff. Okay, yeah, black people. No, the government, this sham puppet government in South Africa, this weak paper tiger government in South Africa, standing by and letting bullshit happen that don't supposed to happen. But that's not for us to lay there and just say, okay, well, they not part of Africa no more. They ain't African people no more. No, we disown them because of what they're doing right there. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that, man. We can't do that. I mean, like I said, I know we understand the sentiment behind that, but we got to look at it another way, man. You know, 'cause white folks don't do that. You know why? That's why they got us in a stranglehold now, because they don't do that. They come together. They have differences, but they come together to keep a stranglehold on our black ass. You know, and we too politically immature to say, hold on, fuck that, man. Let's put our differences aside and get together. You know, we fighting together. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if somebody come to Jacadero and they threaten Jacadero and I'm standing right there, guess what? Me and Jacadero could have just had a fight last week. You know what I'm saying? I could have did something to him. He could have did something to me. But guess what? When this other motherfucker come up and threaten Jacadero, I'm going to bust that other motherfucker in the mouth. You don't put your hands on my brother. We got to be together, man.
Woo! Man, I appreciate you, Anthony. Man, yeah, a lot to dive in and think about. You know, is this a opportunity where we could come together, or is this opportunity for us to show the rest of the world that we're not as united, and the bond between us brothers and sisters is not that strong? Trigger Happy in the chat says, to be fair, someone could come and say that South Africa's national team represents a country that is highly Afrophobic, meaning their black population is against black immigrants. Lord of Slaughter says that I think South Africa is unknowingly helping the recolonization process. That's a big message. Trigger Happy says that, yeah, there are many instances of Afrophobia in Mexico too, but like I said, in my opinion, I get why many African nationals rejected South Africa. Trigger Happy also adds, on a grander scheme, this is horrible because it's ostracizing South Africa for Zionist agenda and the re-apartheid, but South Africa on the ground don't seem to realize that. Whoo! All right, I think we got Jose back. Maybe. Jose, hopefully you got videos.
I'm back.
All right, hopefully you got a chance to see the videos, and hopefully you heard the question. The prompt asked, did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team? Shoot the brief top.
Well, mid video, even the sound of the video went off. So I was having issues with the app. So I was looking in the browser, but what I just did was reinstall the app, and everything seems smooth now. But yeah, to open my take on the topic, I'm going to parrot a joke that I see a lot on my timeline on X. If we support South Africa, they will say we're taking their job. You know, but I didn't watch the game, but my sentiments, it was not like I was for Mexico. I had my laughs on some videos that I saw on X, but I didn't go for Mexico. Maybe here and there I joked some like what is your some people were asking what is your Mexican name today, and my answer is of course you see my name, so my answer is of course I'm a stick to my Cape Verdean name, but I'm sorry, I didn't feel like supporting South Africa. I didn't support Mexico, but I didn't feel like supporting South Africa. I'm sorry, I literally, my feelings were missing. Like I don't want them to lose, but the enthusiasm, like there's 10 quote unquote African, because I don't count Morocco as African. I mean, there's a lot of them in the Netherlands, and they do not like us. They hate us, right? So yeah, today I was definitely for Brazil, and although I stuck to my Cape Verdean name, but I was definitely for Brazil, and it ended in a draw, is what you call it, one goal for each. But yeah, this South African thing is horrible, man. It's too much. I hear you, Anthony. I hear you, but I just can't. I can't move myself to yeah to cheer them out, to cheer them on, or even watch the game. So if I don't watch the game, I'm not I'm not sponsoring, I'm not supporting who they play against. So I didn't watch the game uh, to avoid supporting Mexico. You understand what I'm feeling, what I'm saying? So I didn't want to support Mexico, but I just can't. I just can't get myself together to support South Africa, right? If they win, if they go through to the finals, or maybe even win the championship, and if they go through the finals, I'll probably feel some pride. If they win, it may be a different story. It may be a different story. I've seen some horrible videos, uh, but lately, yesterday and today, I also seen some videos of the shops being empty. So yeah, nobody is taking their jobs. It's just a bunch of dumbass motherfuckers, you know. And one more thing, I see similarities with FBA, and not completely, because in in South Africa it's violence and even murder, but I see similarities, and the similarity is, I think, Jim Crow, uh, a very long time as uh, having to live like, let me pick the words, 3/5 of a man, right? So a couple of generations you've lived as 3/5 of a man. Your the language that you were in, the education, the media, everything told you you were nothing, right? And so you don't want to be that thing that is nothing. You don't want to be that thing that is just 3/5, or you don't want to be that thing that is low IQ, or like you've been breathing it as South African and as a Black American. And so you we are looking at the result. So we are looking at mental illness, like, you're African, but you're Afrophobic. It makes no sense. So I it's something psychology. Yeah, it's something that psychiatrists have to find a solution on, some type of therapy, or yeah, of course. I'm going to say the therapy is exodus, move to Africa, move to the Caribbean, but the we I think we should look for a solution in psychiatry, mental spiritual healing, something in that order. But yeah, we all know that some knuckleheads are going to need a kick in the butt, so yeah, that's my take. I cannot support Mexico, but I can support. I'm having difficulties in supporting South Africa. That's my point.
I appreciate it, Jose, and thank you. Thank you for your patience today. I know that you're probably telling us things. Thank you. For somebody, for those that don't get to see behind the scenes. Jose has been having issues being in a whole nother country, and he still continued to come back into the panel. So thank you, Jose. Thank you for your patience with us. In the chat, Lord of Slaughter says, yes, FBA and Dudula. FBA being the Foundation of Black Americans for those that are not in the United States. And then the Dudula is one of the groups, because there's multiple groups that are anti-Black immigrants in South Africa, saying are very similar. And Israel is funding the Dudula with the Boers. If that is true, if that's true, I have no idea. Go ahead, Jose. Go ahead.
Yes, I forgot to add that one too. There are people, definitely there are people working on it, because the center, the epicenter of Dudula is in Durban, right? And these white and colored, to use apartheid terms, these white and colored people, they want to separate from South Africa. They want to take the Cape, the Cape, the West Cape, or whatever they call it over there. And that's a port. So if the Suez Canal closes, all the ships have to go through there, right? So there's a lot of forces there. A lot of people are suspect. The United States is suspect, i.e. CIA or whatever. The small heads are suspect, because they have a foot on the ground in West South Africa. And of course the white, I hate to call him that way, it's of course it's the colonizer, but anyway, white South Africans, they have so there's at least 3 enemies that are, to me, suspicious for funding, supporting, how do you call it, sculpting this movement. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Jose, just call them the Boers, Jose.
Appreciate it, Jose, and thanks, Anthony. And if that's true, if they're being funded by Israel, that'd be ironic, just because of South Africa was the only country, let alone African country, that brought Israel to the ICC court. I think if it wasn't last year, then the year before that, for crimes of genocide against the Palestinian people. So it'd just be even more insane if that is the case. But again, this is 2026 without Pan-Africanism. A lot of things are in disarray. Trigger Happy says that there was an article that came from an Israeli publication that spoke to the fragmentation of Africa, and South Africa was the first on the list. I got a lot to say about Israel, but I want it to be relevant. Again, we're talking about, did Africans sell out by cheering for Mexico instead of South Africa for the first game in the 2026 FIFA World Cup on Thursday, June 11th? Lord Slaughter said, I actually encountered an American small hat using a fake profile and pretending to be from North Sudan. Brother Bakari, are you back? Do we still have you?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't even know you had called me.
Sorry.
Are you for a second? But
are you familiar with the Shoot the Breeze topic number 3?
Yeah, they selling out.
Go ahead.
But I understand that you're having problems, right? But look what this. I bet you they would never say the same thing, and even though they're not from here, but they come here and they love it so much. But look what this president, this guy, the lunatic in office now, have said about Nigeria and those other places. And I bet you'll never hear them say anything about these people. You know, brothers, sisters, whatever, you fight. But for me to turn and say, I'm going to pull from Mexico, it also shows our mindset. Like Anthony said, the lack of education that we actually have. The black people, the Afro-Mexicans did not become a citizen, was not recognized by the country of Mexico until about maybe 10 years ago. But they act like Mexico is so much better. But that also shows where not just lack of education, but where we are as a people, man. Everybody can come and we will choose sides with anybody over one another. Brothers and sisters fight. The South Africans see themselves different, and I'll tell anybody in a heartbeat, what they're doing in South Africa is a bunch of bullshit. What they're doing to African people over there, I don't agree with that. But I damn sure ain't gonna turn around because I got into it with an African. I got into it with I guess a different type of African, that I'm going to turn around and choose and say, you know what, I'm going to go with Mexico. So now you can kind of see, I'm telling you, a lot of stuff we do, right? You can see sometime by the way we carry on at time, you can see how we end up in this position. We end up in this position sometime because of how we see each other. We still haven't grown to see ourselves as the same, right? We're not the same. You feel me? So we're different type of, they're a different type of African than me. I'm a Zulu. I'm a whatever else over there in damn South Africa, and whatever else over there in Nigeria. I'm Yoruba. They're Igbo. And it's still in that tribal mindset, still haunts us today. It even haunts us here, where we live here in the people that y'all call Black American. Me and Anthony still use the term African American. But for the people that want to say a Black American, I don't think me and Anthony in that group when y'all be calling Black Americans. But anyway, but still here, you're Pan-African, you're FBA, you're ADOS, you're Aboriginal, Indigenous, you're a Moor, you're a Hebrew Israelite. And then in all of those cliques, right? Then in all of those little tribes that we have set up over here, inside those tribes, they don't all get along. So then you're going to find well, I'm this type of Hebrew Israelite. Well, I'm not a Moor like that. I'm a Moor. I don't know if you ever heard of the people that call themselves the M-U-U-R. They're the Moors. You know, we are everything except what we are, African. We do everything in our power to get away from Africa. So am I going to pull against someone that say they're FBA and they going against a Mexican? Probably not, unless that FBA acts like Floyd Mayweather. And I still wouldn't pull against them. I just don't pull for them and just don't give a damn whether they win or lose. But for me to go out here and start talking about Viva Mexico, and you can look in Mexico and see how the Afro-Mexicans are treated over there. Nah, to me that don't make sense. But that shows our mentality. That shows our mentality to the world. Just like, so now when you see stuff like this, now you see stuff like this, then I listen to a video that my good brother Koku sent me. how will you? Because it's the same mentality. How will we ever boycott anything, right? Because we don't see value in the things that we have, or we don't see value in people that look like us. We see value in everybody else, in everybody else's stuff. We don't see value in amongst ourselves, amongst Black African people. You understand? So on that note, man, I yield the mic.
I appreciate it, Brother Bakari. In the chat, before we get into some thoughts, maybe Anthony has a thought. Laura Slaughter says, I'm African American. Black is just a color with no origin. Koku says that we have these people rage baiting us daily. Is it rage bait? This is an important question. Lord Slaughter says, Koku, yeah, his name was Rockaway Soldier. He was arguing with a Somali and saying Somalis weren't Kushites. His name gave it away. Lord Slaughter adds, Anthony, any thoughts on what Brother Bakari says, or maybe just the entire Shoot the Breeze topic number 3? Did Africans sell out by cheering for the other team on Thursday, June 11th, Mexico versus South Africa?
Yeah, Jackadero. Yeah, I mean, great stuff from Brother Bakari, from Jose, from Jose, everybody. I'm sorry, Jose. I meant Jose, not Jose. But yeah, what I wanted to say is, I read about that. What Brother Jose was saying about how how the so-called colored people and the Boers want to secede in South Africa, create their own little thing. In the Cape, I think in the Western Cape, I think. The mentality of our people down there, man, the colored people is crazy, man. I mean, it's really crazy. What I'm saying is exactly the same thing that Jose brought up about that FBA mentality and the South African mentality. What they have in common. And the people who done had their foot on their neck for the longest time, because hey, look here. I mean, that could be a subject for another story. But like I'm saying, for another day. But yeah, exactly. I mean, what did they both do? What the FBA do? What did these so-called Afrophobes and xenophobes, brothers and sisters in Tanzania and South Africa do? What? They hate other Black people. They hate Black immigrants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just it's pathetic. It's a pathetic mentality. You know what I'm saying? But okay, I already had spoke about what I had to say. But my question was you, Jackadero. This is what I want to say. Remember, now check this out, and this relating to this topic right here. Remember, the last time we did the show, it was 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, or whatever, when we did the show. And remember, Jackadero, I brought up the thing about the Kenyan Land and Freedom Army. You remember that, brother?
Yes, sir. The KRA. Yeah.
Okay. We was talking about that. And remember what you said. Remember, you had a conversation with your father about that. And what your daddy told you. He said, "Oh, you can cool you." You know what I'm saying?
The topic was
I know. I mean, Jackadero, check back. I know what the topic was. I remember the topic. I mean, I'm bringing it up for a reason. But what I'm saying, remember what Papa Jackadero did. What he said, "Oh, you Kikuyu." Well, you Kikuyu. Okay, what I'm saying, you seeing yourself. I mean, Papa seeing himself as, yes, I'm an African, but I'm a different African. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, I'm from my ethnic group, or whatever whatever Papa Jackadero was, and you from this group. You know what I'm saying, you are you a Kikuyu? You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, Jackadero. I'm not dissing Papa Jackadero. I mean, respect to him, everything. But what I'm saying, I'm trying to make an example. This is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a South African. I'm an African, but I'm not a Mozambican. I'm not a Zambian. I'm not a Zimbabwean. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Botswana. I'm not from Swaziland, from Eswatini. I'm not from Lesotho. You know what I'm saying? So you immigrants coming to my country. You know what I'm saying? I'm an FBA. Well, you a Black immigrant from Haiti or from Jamaica or from Nigeria or Ghana. You know what I'm saying? You coming to my country. You over to take my job, to take my spot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm relating that to what Papa Jacadero said. No, and he probably wasn't saying it. No, that wasn't. We put it in context. What I'm saying, what he said. You ain't, or you a Kikuyu? You know what I'm saying? No, you one of us. We from our group right here. You ain't damn one of them. What, you want to copy over there? You want to do that? You want to be one of them? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this is the mindset. I mean, this going to the mindset of our people. Seeing each other as different. Like what we was talking about, what I was talking earlier. What we talked about a couple of weeks ago in the same conversation. When I said, Brother Jacadero, you are African. You say, I'm an African. I said, I'm an African too. You know what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying, Jacadero? And don't get me wrong, it's a teachable moment for all of us. It ain't nothing against you. It ain't nothing against Papa Jacadero. No, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, this is the mentality. No, that's what I'm trying to relate it now to how these brothers and sisters in Tanzania and South Africa thinking. Because we not seeing each other as the same. You know, I had the conversation with Bwana Hagaziki, my brother from the Bahamas. No, I used to tell him because he always called me a Black American. I said, man, I'm an African. And I asked, why is it so hard for you to say, call me an African? It's easy for me to call you one. You an African, brother. You an African from the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? Jacadero, you an African from Kenya. I'm an African from Louisiana. Jose is an African from the continent. Brother Bakari is an African from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? You see how easy it was for me to call you African? You know, I ain't got to turn around and say, I'm an African, what are you? Where you come from? What's your lineage from? You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality. I'm saying it goes to the mentality. That's what I'm trying to say. I land right there, brother. You know, and much love to you and Papa Jacadero.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was never taking offense. I brought that story up just to say, just to show the irony, because, for those that don't know, the conversation weeks ago was a Shoot the Breeze topic and asking, if braids, tattoos, and earrings from African men is African in origin, just because the modern day African youth now is scrutinized from his parents, especially from his father, or from the older male figure, saying that, either A, do you want to be American? Do you want to be a thug? Do you want to be a gangster? Do you want to be a drug dealer? Or do you just want to be a girl? And, when I had braids, not even tattoos or piercings, my father, then questioned me about it because he was not in favor of me having braids. And, I told him, hey, the Maasai, have braids. And then he asked me if I'm a Maasai. And it's part of a larger conversation of, Africans, pretty much we operate in an ethnocentric mindset, saying that whatever our parents are, that's what we are. And we don't step out of that. There's even been, African weddings where an African couple might be from one country, like let's say Ethiopia, and then they decide to wear Nigerian attire for their wedding. And in the comments, sometimes people from Ethiopia will say, why didn't you wear Ethiopian clothing? Why are you wearing Nigerian clothing? In the chat, Trigapi says, I even think African descent is too safe of a term. I like that. Laura Slaughter says, exactly, we're Africans. And this is a Pan-African, show. This is a Pan-African network. So I'm liking what I'm saying. Goku says, I'm wondering that to Lord of Slaughter, saying that the Zulu king hasn't made a statement yet about the xenophobic atmosphere in South Africa. Bakari, Jose, any last thoughts on this? Again, did Africans sell out by cheering for Mexico instead of South Africa on June 11th for the opening game of the FIFA 2026 World Cup?
Yes, yes. Like I said earlier, it's sold out. But in a sense, if you look at it and you dig deeper, right, it can also show you, in a sense, how we end up in this position that we're in. I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, so I'm the homie. I'm a Khan. I'm Ashanti. I'm Wolof. We still, in 2026, as a group of people, have not figured out that we have to start seeing ourselves as the same if we ever want to get from under this oppression. get people knee and foot off your neck, you know, to get the whites and the Arabs off your neck. But then there's another thing that I see is like everybody can get a pass for how they treat African people, black people, everybody except a black person don't get a pass. Whatever the black person has done is going to forever be held against you, right? But what other people do, they can get a pass. But also back to what Anthony said, and I repeated it in the first, it shows the lack of education. But yes, they were sellouts. So I'm gonna tell you like this: those people that bouncing around talking about they from Mexico, Viva Mexico, Happy Cinco de Mayo, whatever the hell. I know they didn't say that. I just said, just remember, you have some type of organization and you let those type of people in, those type of people, you say something that wrong, they're showing you, you have to be perfect with them damn near anyway. And those people will sell out your organization as well. For the record, those type of people will sell us out too. Just like FBA will sell, us out. Those people will sell us out as well. That's just my take on it.
Jose, I appreciate it, Brother Bakari. Jose, any last thoughts before we get into Shoot the Breeze? Next topic.
No, next topic.
Hey, Jackadero, I'm gonna step away, but I'm gonna be listening. I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna try to come back by time to get a shout out, but I got to step away for a second.
Yes, sir.
This topic actually hurts. So yeah, let's get on to the next one.
All right. We'll try to get to 5. I don't know if we're gonna have time for 5, but we'll try to get to 5. The topic number 5 will be a lot more. What do they say? It's a good feeling, good vibes. But Shoot the Breeze topic number 4 might also be a tough one as well. We got to do it. We're going to do it again. I'm Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku on Shoot the Breeze episode 245 on the Better Medicine podcast. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Shoot the Breeze topic number 4 asks, is this hating or rules are rules? Again, Shoot the Breeze topic number 4 asks, is this hating or rules on rules? Again, we were just on the FIFA World Cup football, or Kandaka. Kandaka, I believe, is how Anthony would want it pronounced. I'm not sure on the pronunciation, but you guys know the game. Played with a ball that's usually black and white, 11 players on each team on each field. Well, the FIFA World Cup kicked off on Thursday, June 11, 2026. 10 African countries qualified this year, and some African satellite countries also qualified for the first time in over 50 plus years, Congo being one of them, and Haiti also being one of them. Well, Haiti qualified, and Haiti, or Haiti, submitted their jersey. Again, they submitted their jersey designs. And let's go into how that was received by the authorities of the FIFA World Cup. Again, Shoot the Breeze topic number 4. Is this hating or are rules? There is a video that showcases what happened when Haiti submitted their jerseys to the FIFA authorities. Let's take a look.
I'm not even oh my god. I'm not even Haitian, and this just pissed me off so bad. FIFA has rejected Haiti's World Cup jersey, saying it's too political. So for the Haitian 2026 World Cup jersey, they have a symbol in the corner representing the Haitian Revolution and the fight for independence, with an image of a man holding up the flag representing their freedom. Mind you, this is their history. The FIFA World Cup is saying it's too political. They have not been able to play on their turf for God knows how long. They haven't made it to the FIFA World Cup in over 52 years. When they finally have something going for them, this is what happens? It's not like Reebok, Nike, Adidas, freaking Jordan hopped on the bandwagon to help Haiti find a custom jersey at all. Haiti had to do this themselves. So the fact that they finally have something for themselves, it's a problem. This is what makes me laugh when they say it's too political. Because when they celebrate their independence, it's too political. But wait, aren't we having the 4th of July coming up? USA Independence Day? What does that mean? It means that there are probably 9 times out of 10, you're going to see people dressed as Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Uncle Sam in the stands, cheering and representing USA, USA, USA. USA got their independence from the United Kingdom. And if I remember correctly, England is participating in the World Cup. That's not political at all? Oh, so it's only political when it's Haitian. Got it. Ever since the whole announcement of the travel ban for the Haitian tourists, it's just been miss after miss after miss. My Haitian peoples, I'm so sorry, y'all. I am very upset for y'all. I just feel like this just goes to show that the world is always against y'all. And I don't want it to feel like that because as a Puerto Rican man, I love y'all and I'm rooting for y'all. And I just hope that y'all overcome this. I hope you go all the way. And I hope it's against France too. Anyways, ça passe, yo. Much love. Oh my God. I'm not even Haitian, and this just pissed me off so bad.
Once again, if you are just tuning in, I'm Brother Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku here on Shoot the Breeze episode 245 on the Bitter Medicine podcast. Hit the like button. Also, we have a Discord. Again, that purple app, DISCORD for Android and Apple. If you want to be involved in the conversations outside of Saturday nights, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, not 24/7, no, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. Download the app, the Bitter Medicine podcast. You can be with like-minded individuals. Shoot the Breeze topic number 4 asks, is this hating or are rules rules? You guys get the point here. Before we get into our panelists' thoughts, Trigger Happy says Haiti is playing right now. Yes, they are. And they're playing Scotland and they're down 1-0. Again, they're playing Scotland. So if you want to have the game on in the background, you can catch that wherever it is being showed. Lord of Slaughter says that they did this in the Olympics too to Haiti, as far as rejecting their uniform idea. Lord of Slaughter says that they didn't like Haiti's uniforms in the Winter Olympics. Look it up. I might just do that. In the meantime, Jose, from what you've seen, what you've heard, is this hating or are rules?
This is hating. This is hating. I actually thought it was the United States that forbid it, but of course it's FIFA that is the organizer, and it's hating. It's hating. It's and I must add, and it has a little link to the previous topic. One of the Caribbean islands, one of the Dutch Caribs, is also in, and they are the smallest country ever to take part. But they used to be united, and we used to say the Dutch Antilles. But if you say that now in the Netherlands, they say no, I'm Aruba. No, I'm Curaçao. No, I'm so it are. Officially, it's called the provinces, the Dutch provinces in the outskirts, but they are internationally counted as separate countries now. So they wanted to be separate of each other, but not of the Netherlands. I just wanted to let that. I just wanted to throw that in the group. But yes, next to Haiti, it's also Curaçao, I believe, that's playing in the cup. But no, this is hating. This is clearly hating. I mean, everybody white seems to feel the need to bash and to kick down on Haiti. Maybe because they know the history, but certainly because the hard work that the United States have been doing in their media and the image that they have created about Haiti. So no, it's 100% hate in my opinion. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Jose. In the chat, Nikoku 911 gives us an update. Haiti is down 0 goals to 1 goal against Scotland. Lord of Slaughter says, yes, Haiti's uniforms were rejected in the Olympics. Actually, I have some insight. Yes, Haiti's Winter Olympic uniforms required last-minute alterations after the International Olympic Committee deemed the design violated rules prohibiting political, religious, or racial propaganda. The delegation's uniform featured an illustration of Toussaint Louverture, the leader of the Haitian Revolution, riding into battle. Because Olympic guidelines restrict the use of political figures and symbolism, and the International Olympic Committee forced a redesign. The Italian Haitian designer, Miss Stella Jean, bypassed the rejection by painting over the revolutionary leader's face, leaving only the image of the horse and tropical foliage visible on the final attire. This incident sparked further controversy when FIFA also rejected Haiti's initial World Cup jersey for similar reasons. Sheesh. Yeah, Lord of Slaughter says that yes, Toussaint was supposed to be on the horse in the Olympic attire for Team Haiti, and then Trigger Happy says that yep, Curacao agreeing with Jose. Anthony, from what you've heard, what you've seen, is this hating, or are rules reference to FIFA World Cup rejecting Haiti's initial jerseys design?
Okay. Yeah, it's absolute hate. Hey, I want to just for a minute, Jack. Though, please, could I ask Jose one thing real quick?
You have the floor.
Okay, all right. It's ironic Jose brought up Curacao. Jose, I was just me and another brother just having a discussion about Tula just a couple of days ago. We were talking about Tula. It talking about the rebellion of the Africans in Curacao. We were talking about Tula this other day.
Tula,
Yeah.
Tula is like their net
yeah. It was ironic that you said that. And I wanted to ask you briefly, quickly, Jose, do you speak any Papiamento?
Cape Verdeans in Cape Verde we have 2 dialects, and unfortunately I speak the one from the north.
Yeah, okay. Because I knew that she was in Holland. I was just wondering, being around some people from the Dutch, Caribbean, and South, I was wondering, did you know any Papiamento?
I can follow them, but I have to listen very, very tightly. But the other dialect is practically the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering about that, but it was just ironic to me that you had brought that up because we was just talking about Curacao. Me and the brother. That's why I wanted to throw that in. But thank you, Jose. But yes, man, it's absolutely hating, man. I mean, it's absolutely hating, brother Jacadero. And man, don't let me forget that what I had to tell you. But yeah, it's absolutely hate. I mean, how is it that the tricolors of France is not political? You know what I'm saying? Well, what's going on now, Jacadero? Even look here, what the French are trying to get going in your homeland. You know what I'm saying? They getting kicked out of West Africa. Now they trying to go to Kenya. You know what I'm saying? With all of the bullshit that's going on, with the France and Francophone Africa, you know what I'm saying? And they former colonies, the bullshit. How is the tricolors not political? How is the British or the Union Jack not political? How is the American flag not political? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the very symbols of Western imperialism. Symbols of Western imperialism. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's pitiful. You know what I'm saying? And to do some stuff like that. But you know what this goes to? This goes to something like what we've heard many brothers and sisters on this panel say. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you see Brother Bakari say it all the time. All of us. This what this goes to. Okay, Jacadero. If Jacadero has an organization and I join Jacadero's organization, Jacadero has some rules in his organization, rules of conduct or whatever. And if I want to be a part of Jagadero's organization, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, we talking on a super, we ain't talking about on a black conscious level. I'm just talking about on a superficial level. Well, guess what I got to do? I got to abide by the rules that Jagadero set down. You know what I'm saying? So when we have organizations like FIFA, if we have, we have organizations like you have in American professional football. They have the NBA championship. They have the NFL championship. Okay, when they play at the end, right now on my TV, they got the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks playing. They call it the World Championship. But one country playing, but they call it the world. You know what I'm saying? Major League Baseball played nowhere but the United States and Canada, but they call it the world. You know what I'm saying? The NBA, the NFL, all of them played in one place, one or two countries, but they call it the world. So this is the World Championship. Okay, so what? FIFA, the World Cup, the World Championship. The only soccer championship I look at is the Africa Cup. You know what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going? When we have our own thing, we don't have to worry about, I got to change this uniform or this flag or this whatever because FIFA say we got to do this here. That's political. Well, we playing in their game. They made the rules. We got to have what I'm saying. This is this is about us having our own institution. To me, the World Championship is the Africa Cup. That's what the World Championship to me. This other shit don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? If I see an African team playing or a Black Caribbean team playing, a Black nation playing, yeah, I'll watch it. I'm going to root for them. Okay. But like, at the end of the day, if the Black nation don't win, I don't give a damn about it. Because it ain't our shit anyway. We playing in their shit. When I look at it, when I see the African Championship, when I see the Africa Cup playing, that's the World Championship to me. What I'm saying is about us having power. It's a power thing, our own institution. Jagadero, if we own our own shit, how the hell these hunkies gonna tell our Haitian brothers what to wear?
Exactly.
In a uniform. Or I hate what they put in their flag. How the hell you gonna tell them that shit? You know what I'm saying? It's our shit when we control our shit. When we control our institutions. But see, when we part of their shit, okay, you got to follow their goddamn rules. Okay, well, that's what they say. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, it's hating, but I'm saying it also goes to us. It's our mentality. We got to have our own thing. Who said FIFA got to be the World Championship? Why the Africa Cup? Why our thing can't be the World Championship? You know what I'm saying? We got 52 nations, 53, 54 nations, however many nations that we have in Africa. You know what I'm saying? that's a lot of countries. That's the world to me. Hell, the Major League Baseball, the National Basketball Association, the NFL only have 2 countries at most that play the sports that they play, but they call it the goddamn world. Oh, the world champion, New York Knicks or whatever, the world champion, Toronto Blue Jays, you know what I'm saying? Or the world champion this, you know what I'm saying? Those whatever NFL team, New Orleans Saints, you know, whatever. The world champion. You play in 2 goddamn countries. You know what I'm saying? So why Africa with 53, 54, 55 nations can't be the world? That's what I'm saying. It's because we got to get our shit together, man. And we got to go for the power thing, man. We got to recognize the power that we have. Who said we got to be a part of their shit? Why we can't have our own shit and look at our own shit? Hey, Africa Cup is the world. Why we got to go for FIFA? Why we got to follow their rules and not follow our own rules? And lastly, Jagadero, you know what I was talking about to come down to. How the hell you gonna sit up there and say what you just said to be an attack? Well, you know that's part of the Kenya national soccer team. You know, come down. You know I can't pronounce the whole slogan, but you know good and damn well that's what they call the Kenya national team, the Kandana. You up there acting like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I appreciate it, Anthony. And yes, I'll be like that. Remember, Anthony, you're talking to a Kenyan. I was raised in America, man. So some
I'm gonna get you, man.
In the chat, Trigger Happy says that eventually Africa will have to own their own sporting federations that divest from global iterations or have the leverage to hawk down FIFA. Things like this happen. If we were a strong state, and Koku 911 asks, would have stopped Africa. Lord of Slaughter says that the Caribbean should seek residency and identify as an African territory, play in the African Cup. Man, I've been waiting, actually. I've been waiting for for an Africa versus Caribbean AFCON or CONFA, whatever, Caribbean, African Union versus CARICOM. Man, that I've been waiting for that just because, that will bring a lot of business because of the vendors will be making money, hotels will be making money, etc. Man, whoever the middlemen are or middle women that are able to bring that deal, I'll be forever grateful. Lord of Slaughter also adds, and Black nations in South America. Man, listen, it'd be nice. Lord of Slaughter adds, we are the world. Damn everybody else. Tragapi says, I would like international football tournament with Africa, the Caribbean, and Oceania in one. I'm telling you, this has to happen. It's 2026. Yeah, again, the middle people, because it's really, at the end of the day, most of these deals are made by middlemen, middle women that are able to do these things. So whoever you are, and maybe it might be you that's listening, that's watching. Fellas, I don't know if Bokari's still on the line here, but Anthony, Jose, any last thoughts here on this topic? Again, Haiti's jersey design and being rejected by FIFA. Go ahead, Jose.
Yes. Every freaking game starts with the hymn of both teams. How is that not political? Every team flies their flag. How is that not political? Every jersey has something to do with the nation. For example, the Dutch, they play in orange, right? That's the royal house. How is that? How is Haiti's jersey a problem? It makes zero sense.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's yeah, they have FIFA actually hasn't came out and said, or maybe nobody's asked them to publicly make a statement on why the jersey iteration was rejected. It's pretty sad because at the end of the day, right, if it is in fact the gentleman that's holding the old Haitian flag towards the bottom of the jersey that you guys see on the screen that are able to watch it, if it is that, I'm trying to figure out on what exactly could that be interpreted as negative, because are they not an independent nation? Did they not free themselves? And also, who's going to pay attention to that? I'm saying as far as a football perspective, I love watching football, soccer, kandake. Anthony, please forgive me. Again, you're talking to a Kenyan that was raised in the United States. But I'm just watching the game. Sure, the jerseys are nice. I know that Congo is really popular now on social media because of their attire that they showed up to in the Houston hotel. But I'm just more worried about the actual gameplay. I could not care less, but the jersey is secondary, if anything. I'm not, and also the cameramen typically aren't focused on the jerseys. It's more of us, social media heads that are getting into the intricacies of things. But I could be wrong. Jose, Anthony, do you guys think that maybe not thinking too deep into this? Because I'm just like, why would FIFA even care about this? I think it was mentioned earlier, this is America's 250th anniversary of being freed from Britain. They're having a damn cage match in Washington, D.C. this 4th of July. Now, sure, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with FIFA, but nonetheless, can people not be proud of being independent?
When they show their new jersey, it's kind of like fashion. Oh yeah, okay, next. Next subject. The colors are to identify the 22 people from each other. To me, it's like, oh, okay, blue, white, okay, that's France. Orange, white, okay, the French are playing against the Dutch. It's not that you're gonna ask who designed it and why. It's nonsense. It's hate. It's hate. 100%.
I agree 100%, man, Jackadero. It is like, you know what? If you just think, like I said, us as people who like watching the game, you know what I'm saying, is, I don't hate to use that word, but the fan, we don't give a damn about that. No, if we enthusiasts of the game, I love watching African soccer, man. I love watching. Senegal, one of my favorite teams. You know what I'm saying? I love watching. So I don't really care about that because I don't really too much look at the rest of it. But at the end of the day, we looking at the game. I think that this is also a part of, just to add on, is also as a part of, it's like a power thing, especially with a nation like Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the historical context of Haiti, and reminding you Haitians, we still up here. We still right here. We still got our foot on your neck. We're gonna keep, to remind you, no, you go change that shit. You know what I'm saying? Impending on Haiti, on Haitian sovereignty and independence and freedom, and their legacy of fighting, for black people, for African people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm quite sure they'll do that to any African nation, but particularly, especially Haiti and Haitian people, because we know you Haitians. We know you Haitians. Y'all got that pride and swagger, different than some other black people or African people. You know what I'm saying? Because that y'all kicked our ass at one time. And you can believe the French was probably somewhere behind that. The Americans too. No, you got to change that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, it's really ridiculous when you think of it. But, they so petty. When it comes to that, as far as like, and then, they always thinking on the power dynamic. Okay, well, whatever we could do. Even something small on this level of just a football game. No, let's go there and fuck with these Haitians. Yeah, y'all got to change that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, on any level, say we ain't gonna never take our foot off a Haitian net. You know what I'm saying? We had to think of it in that kind of way too. We as brothers and sisters who could see that. You know what I'm saying? Because they never want to see Haiti, reach its full potential. And part of that is playing psychological games, like stuff like this here, like on a soccer game. Now change your goddamn flag.
Whew. Appreciate it. Bringing the heat every single week, man. Anthony and Jose and Brother Bakari, if he's still on. Brother Bakari, are you on? Are you on? If you are, you want to share some thoughts, if you have any thoughts. All right. Well, if not, I know that we like to get to 5 topics. I get it. Even me, I like to get to 5 topics. But unfortunately, we are out of time. It's on me. You guys can blame me. Blame me, please. I'm part of a large network that I'll get to here because we're about to get into shout outs. Here in Omaha, Nebraska, today we're celebrating Juneteenth. We will also celebrate it this upcoming 19th of June. That will be on Friday, but we're celebrating it today. Today was the parade that got rained out, but there are some festivities that my organization, or the organization that I represent, is a part of, and I have to give a speech. So if you're in Omaha, you might see me, and if you recognize my voice, man, go ahead, man. Come on, let's build, let's connect. With that being said, again, I apologize. I know we try to get to 5 topics. It's on me, but it's only because Omaha today is celebrating Juneteenth. With that being said, I think it's about time, right? It's about time. It's about time, huh? Let's go ahead and let's get into. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's get into the shout outs. This is the part of the show where even you in the chat, not just our panelists, you in the chat and you panelists could go ahead and give your shout outs on any person, people, places, or things that have been happening, whether it's recent or maybe you didn't get a chance to say it last week or the weeks prior. I understand. We do give 5 topics. Please just put the blame on me. This is all on me. I just got to get to my organization's celebration here. But in the meantime, Jose, what say you? What shout outs do you have for this week?
Well, it's a little bit selfish, but my shout out goes to Curacao and Cape Verde Islands. I believe if Curacao didn't play, it would have been Yeah, thank you. I believe if Curaçao didn't play, it would have been the Cape Verde Islands that has would have been the smallest country to take part. But it's Curaçao. It's the smallest country. Population wise, population count wise, it's the smallest country that made it through. And probably everybody on the island knows the players personally. But that's how small the population is. And yeah, second is shout out to the Cape Verde Islands for making it thus far. And I believe it's not only Cape Verdeans that have high expectations. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They're starting against Spain, and Spain is a tough one. So that's they can, it can build the character even if they lose, or it can break the character if they lose. So I'm a count on my blue sharks, because that's how the team is called, the blue sharks.
Woo! I appreciate it, Jose. Yeah, man. Big shout out to Curacao, and also big up to Cape Verde, Jose. I see that this was their first time also qualifying for the World Cup. I am cheering for all African and Caribbean teams myself. Anthony. Before we get into Anthony's shout outs, let's see here in the chat. Trigger Happy says, I need all black teams to beat colonizer teams pronto. ASAP. ASAP. And Trigger Happy says, man, shout out to Haiti. They're playing great right now, but they're losing still 0-1. Shouts out to all the black teams, especially Ghana. Lord of Slaughter says, Juneteenth, RBG. Yeah. And I don't know why, they decided to celebrate this week. Maybe, I don't know. I know that permits need to be passed, so who knows what happened. Trigger Happy also adds, watch out for France and Senegal and Ghana and England. The France and Senegal game, for those that want to pay attention, it's on Tuesday afternoon here in the United States. Wherever else you're at, check your local listings. But yeah, France and Senegal should be a game. France is being represented by Mbappe, and then Ballon d'Or winner of last year, 2025, Dembele. Man, and that should be one hell of a game, because Sadio Mane and the actual winners, not the legal winners, the actual winners of the AFCON, Senegal, is playing them. So this game actually should be one for the books. Trigger Happy says that we need a win for both African countries. All right, Anthony, shout outs. What say you? What's your shout out for this week?
Okay, man. All right. First of all, shout out to you, Jackadero, for being a great host, man, which you always do a great job. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brother Koku, man. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters on the panel and in the chat and everybody. Shout out to Curacao and Cape Verde. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, big up to them. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Haiti and all of the black nations in participating. You know what I'm saying? Much success to all of them. And one other thing I want to say, for all the brothers and sisters, wherever whether you African people, black people from here in America or across the world, wherever you at, I know a lot of y'all gonna be celebrating Juneteenth, and I want to say, because you have some Negroes, these FBAs, whatever, running around talking about, well, this just for us. No, this for all black people. Just like Haitian Independence Day is for all black people. You know what I'm saying? Ghana, all Independence Day for African people is for everybody, for all of us to celebrate. So if somebody come up with that bullshit, you tell them to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? We all black people, we celebrating Juneteenth. It's a holiday. It's for all of us. It's us struggling, a continual struggle for independence and freedom and sovereignty for African people here and for African people everywhere. Like I said, it's for all of us. And don't listen to none of this bullshit. Oh, y'all can't celebrate yes, we can. All of us gonna celebrate that day. Everybody support us here, and we support all our brothers and sisters everywhere else. So happy Juneteenth to everybody coming up. I know I'm gonna have a good time celebrating. Everything, but peace to everybody, man, and peace to you, Jackadero, man. You always do a great show. Much love, big brother.
I'm back, Jackadero.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Anthony, Brother Picard. Before we get into you, Thank you for coming back, by the way, in the chat. Lord Slaughter, well, Koku says those matches I'm looking forward to again, those next week matches. Again, especially France and Senegal. Guys, if there's a match that should be just a back and forth game right down to the very end, whatever extra time after the 90th minute, it's France and Senegal. Again, France is spearheaded by, I'm going to call him a Cameroonian because how they say it in that Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America, his father called, his mother named him Cassius, so I'm going to call him Cassius. His father is Cameroonian, so I'm going to call him a Cameroonian playing for France, Mbappe, and then Dembele representing, I believe, you know what, let me not act like I know, but some West African country that both of his parents belong to, but he's playing for France. And then Senegal, again, the actual winners, not the legal winners. I know there's a legality case that's coming up here this summer against Morocco and Senegal over the controversy of the AFCON final, but the actual winners of the AFCON, Senegal, is playing against them, and Sadio Mane is the captain again. Man, one hell of a match. Lord, okay, Koku says they celebrated Juneteenth this weekend. They did. I'll get more into that. Lord of Slaughter says the colonizer need to carry the last. Oh, yes, Slaughter. I beg. Oh, they make my brain need to go scatter. So, yeah, I hope the colonizers get last. Koku says, shout out to the Knicks. The Knicks are on the cusp of a championship. We'll get more into that here. I want to get into Bakari's shout outs. And then Trigger Happy says, shout out on Juneteenth, Brazil and Haiti play Friday, June 19th in Philadelphia. So if you're around the East Coast, if you can get to Philadelphia, go and support both of your guys' African diaspora brothers. All right. We'll get more into the comments. But Brother Bakari, what shout outs do you have for this week?
Okay, I'm gonna give a shout out to you starting off, Jacadero, for being a good host and replacing Koku, man. You're doing a great job. Anthony, did you fry that rabbit last week, man?
I did, man. I did. It came out good too.
See, you ain't had to add that part. I know it did. But anyway, hey, look, man, shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Shoot the Breeze, the Shoot the Breeze network. I got to get back because he had a whole network and we need to be working. But I'm glad you keep doing what you're doing, Coco, with the bitter medicine. I know you say you like Senegal, your favorite team, man. You in New Orleans. You know, one of my homeboys from New Orleans, him and his son is flying to the game in New Jersey on Tuesday to watch Senegal beat France. That's what we say, Senegal gonna beat France. He's flying from New Orleans to and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I know people brag on these black folks that go over here sponsoring. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They ain't bragging on none of them black folks over there represent France. They could have been an African nation, represent the African nation, but we love to go represent and white people. Some else. White people got a way of taking everything from you, treating you any kind of which way, and still have you being loyal to them, representing them. See, we can say the Nigerians sold out for cheering for Mexico, but what about those people from the West African nations that leave and go play and help other people win?
Tell them. Six of the Cape Verdeans play in the Netherlands, and they are playing for Cape Verde. Yes, tell them.
I'm shouting out all the top African athletes, black African athletes that decide to stay and play in Africa and not go represent these white folks like we always do. And I yell at mate.
Woo! I appreciate Brother Bakari. Oh man, and Brother Bakari, they're asking about your cooking. Are you seeing that, huh? They're saying, did Anthony make rabbit again? So Anthony, Brother Bakari, what's going on? Are you guys?
Yeah, Jacadero. If you could get in contact, look, I think me and Coco, we connected on IG and Facebook. I have pictures of the rabbit that I cooked it, and you could get them from check out with Brother Koku, and he could send those pictures to you. I showed pictures when I cooked it. I fried some and I smothered it. It's pictures on Facebook and IG.
Oh man, you smothered some in that gravy with some. Did you have some biscuits go with it?
Nah, that's the only thing I didn't have. I had hot water cornbread though.
You had rice.
Yep, and gravy.
Lord.
Yep.
Oh God, I mean, y'all just people don't know how good that rabbit is, man. Hey, Lord of Slaughter, you right. Yeah, squirrel is good. But speaking of squirrel, since we boycotting the Asians, there's a Chinese restaurant in New York got caught with 350 squirrels in their freezer in bags. They've been skinned and clean, ready to give y'all when y'all order y'all chicken fried rice. They're gonna give y'all a squirrel.
All right. As far as my shout outs, first and foremost, man, shout out to Brother Koku, man, for allowing me to reign and offer you guys the best cohesive show that I can do. But also shout out to just the entire KWAZ radio team. Man, this is one hell of a team, but this all happens because of you guys. The Bitter Medicine podcast, KWAZ radio, The Harsh Reality, our matron and her show, Brother Bakar. Man, listen, I'm gonna forget, but just know that a tree does not make a forest, right? African proverb, right? It takes all the trees to make that forest, and that's each and every one of you guys. The other shout out that I want to give is all the African and Caribbean teams that are playing in this World Cup. For those that are listening that are going to be the future players of these leagues, whether it's the World Cup or anything else, just know that, man, like people are looking at you and saying, hey, whenever you go back to your country, your parents' country, your grandparents' country, man, it's really something. It's really, really, really something. So, man, I hold it dear. You know, these are just not only tournaments, but this is a showcase to show unity and show pride, show that Black racial pride, man. I love being Black. If Nyasai blesses me after death to come back, I want to come back Black. I don't care from where. I would love to come back as a Luo again, but man, any place, man, any place. So big shout out to all the African and Caribbean teams. And then last but not least, the reason why I'm ending the show with only 4 topics is because of the Empowerment Network, man. The Empowerment Network is the largest and best Black organization here in the Midwest, operating out of Omaha, Nebraska. But we partner with sister cities like Tulsa, Oklahoma, Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri, Lansing, Michigan, Memphis, Tennessee, and everything outside and in between. Again, we partner with you, but we also do it. We do it. So we got HVAC, got real estate, whatever you name. Actually, we got somebody from Tulsa, Oklahoma that owns their own grocery store. Again, a Black guy that owns their own grocery store. If you want to get with it, get with it. You see the ticker on the YouTube in the bottom, the Empowerment Network. That's www.empoweromaha.com, the official website of the largest and strongest Black empowerment organization here in the Midwest. And did I have one more thing that I wanted to come across? Oh, Forecast. Forecast has a book, guys. If you guys don't already know, Forecast has a book. Please, I try not to beg, but go
History
ahead.
of racism.
Yeah, you heard it. So
the history of racism. Yeah,
the history of racism. Go on out and get that book wherever it is sold. And also, if you have independent bookstores in your city, in your town, or wherever it is that you live, and have that book. Go ahead and have them carry that book. I'm so glad that I'm going to this Juneteenth event. For those that want to know, I don't know why Omaha decided to celebrate Juneteenth a week early. I'm not sure. I know that permits, they're not always guaranteed. It says a lot about the state of things here in Omaha, but nonetheless, I do have to go to an engagement and I have to give a speech. If you're listening to my voice and you hear my voice somewhere in the building, man, go ahead, man. Come on, let's connect. Let's build. Speaking of build, Bakari, Anthony, Koku, if you're listening, I need those photos of the rabbit. One of the things is I'm trying to expand my my Black, my African American cuisines. I know that it's much more than just what I see for soul food. And yeah, that rabbit, I'm trying to taste that rabbit. I'm trying to taste with the gravy. And then Brother Bakari says, I cooked some chicken feet a couple weeks ago. Man, come on now. Laura Slaughter says, I never had no chicken feet or frog legs. I've had chicken feet before from a Liberian dish. I would love to, taste it from an African American perspective. Brother Bakari also says that frog legs good. When you eat chicken feet, you have to call them foots. Oh, okay. My bad. And them foots is good. My fault, Brother Bakari. Lord Slaughter says, and gator, but gator is like gristle. I'm not sure about gator, but who knows? Maybe one day somebody can convince me to eat some gator. Anthony says that he loves chicken feet. All right. With that being said, man, I appreciate you guys. And I thank you guys for your guys' time, because you guys could be really doing anything else. Koku, if you're listening, also, I think it's Ozuli. Man, brothers in the East Coast, the Knicks are on the verge of winning an NBA championship. I'm going to try my hardest. I have a brother in Hoboken, just across the Hudson. I'm going to try as best as I can to be there for the parade. So if I do end up in the East Coast, Koku, connect me with Izuli and connect me with whoever else I need to connect with. Man, let's have a time and let's try to see what we can do. My name is Jacadero, proudly filling in for Brother Koku here on Shoot the Breeze episode 245. This is the better.
Everybody.
Man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys in the chat, you guys in the panel. Ladies, come on. We can't go week without multiple ladies. I know we always have but man, we need more women as panelists as well. With that being said, I'm Jacadero and I'm signing off. We'll see you guys. Let's go.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.